Also, wait.
Check mic 1 2.
Yeah, check the scroll down just to check the mic.
Check.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
There we go.
Okay, go for it.
All right. Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the Sporty Threesome podcast. My name is Joby Rusk, and I am here with the sportiest and sexiest podcast hosts a person could ask for, my good friends Adonis Aceituno and Sean McDowell. How are you guys doing today?
Wow, that was great. That was great.
It was quite spectacular.
Thank you.
It was everything I've dreamed of and more, I'd say.
I'm doing great. That was your question. I'm sorry.
That was
we
the
also
question.
wanted to acknowledge how great the intro
Because
was.
that's the first time we've had any intro.
Yeah, an intro.
But now you know what you're listening to.
And I'm also doing great. Your intro is great. It's great to be back. It's been a while since we've recorded one of these, but sitting before us, I think, is a great collection of jerseys. So it's we all look good with our boys.
R.I.P. R.I.P. to my boy.
R.I.P. to my boy too, bro.
Yeah. Not my boy.
You still got your star.
Best in the league.
Well,
Close.
yeah. Well, maybe now that breaking news.
Yeah.
Aaron Donald is retired. Maybe that's. Oh, you know what? Hold on, I gotta change because
you gotta rock the.
Aaron Donald has retired, folks. It's
a sad day in sports history.
It is a sad day in sports history
when one of arguably the best defensive players of all time is
the
no
best
longer
defensive player of all time, is what I'll tell you right here, right now. I just to briefly reminisce, Aaron Donald. The first year that I watched football was like, in 2018 was getting like MVP votes. He was getting talks about breaking the sack record as a defensive tackle. I think he ended that year with like 20.5 sacks as a defensive tackle. I remember watching him sack Kyler Murray like 4 times in the playoffs.
Kyler Murray did tweet something like "Thank God."
Bro, literally, if you look at his like share of sacks throughout his career, I think it's like Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray like in double digits, and then it's like everybody else. It's the funniest fucking thing.
Oh, but
Micah Parsons.
So Micah Parsons is now
the best defensive player in the league.
Miles Garrett fans and TJ Watt.
TJ Watt fans are in the mud right now.
TJ Watt fans, they're gonna start watching this podcast just to hate on that.
No, they respect, but Mike is the GOAT. Wow, that is a beautiful jersey. I don't know.
Thank you. Briefly, before we get into our free agency extravaganza, do you guys want to hear what I was talking about or alluding to just before the podcast started?
Yeah, what you got?
Draymond picked up 2 technicals and was ejected after having words with the ref.
Wasn't this like 4 minutes into the game?
Oh my Literally, God. Yeah, it was like, I'm looking at the time clock right now, 8 minutes and 24 seconds left in the first quarter.
So less than 4 minutes.
Did you see that video of him like there was a video of him like 2 days ago like grabbing that dude? I think it was on the Rockets or something, like pulling him over.
My God.
He like wrestles him to the ground.
What is his problem?
I don't know, man. Someone in the comments of this tweet is saying, what's funny is this isn't even Draymond Green's quickest ejection. 85 seconds is his personal best.
Yeah, he probably couldn't beat his personal best.
Yeah, also, some records will never be broken.
Also, I pilled again. Can I get a towel or something?
Oh yeah, totally.
See, this is where I'll cut.
Here.
Yeah. I didn't realize it was spilling.
No, you're good. You're good, dog.
Are we gonna name this episode the free agency extravaganza?
I think like so.
Yeah, I like that too.
Well, so basically the only reason I wanted to bring up basketball a little bit was because last night I witnessed one of the greatest Lakers games of all time. We beat Giannis and Dame in their own house, double overtime.
With no LeBron.
With no LeBron, bro. AD was hobbling. People in the yeah, I think it'll still keep going. I'm pretty sure it's fine. But people in the Lakers game chat, the Lakers live game chat on Reddit, they were hating on AD so bad because later we find out that his knee was a little bit banged up, and people were like, Disney never gives any effort, whatever. And I was like, bro, he's clearly like tired out there. He played 51 minutes that game. 51.
Yeah, insane.
That's like that's insane. So
it was like the most for a Lakers since Kobe, right?
No way.
I saw something like that. It was like the most points by any Laker in a game since Kobe.
That's insane, honestly. And so shout out to Anthony Davis for getting us like 30 plus points and 23 rebounds. Literally, I don't know what else to say. What else can you ask for from Anthony motherfucking Davis, bro? But yeah, that's really it.
It's like the only reason I want to talk about basketball is getting on my knees for the Lakers, bro.
Listen. During the regular season,
and I respect him for that. The
thing that I think I've come to realize is I can only care about the Lakers.
Yeah.
Like, I get up, live and breathe for Lakers games during the regular season, but for everyone else, like, I don't really care that much.
Yeah.
Like, it is cool to see like the league developments, like the fact how like Orlando and Indiana are like the 5th and 6th seeds respectively. Like, it's cool to see teams like that go off and like seeing like new young talent in the league. But I mean, I just can't keep up with all of that, to be honest with you.
There is a lot. And like, I mean, it's an 82 game season.
Yeah.
And like every team play, and there's like 12 games going on every day.
Yeah.
It's way too much to keep up with, but yeah, it's still fun to like keep up with storylines and to witness like occasional masterpieces like
By
the Lakers
Luka.
game.
Yeah. No,
What
yeah.
about
Do you want to
Luka?
talk about your Mavs for a second?
I mean, I don't have much to say. They're just fucking hot again. But I still don't know if I should buy in because it keeps on. I feel like it's just like,
Get on the hopium, man.
yeah, it's like they get on a streak and they drop down to the 8th seed, and they get on a streak and they drop down to the 9th seed, and it's like I don't know anymore, man. I feel like this whole season has just been kind of like a roller coaster, just of ups and downs for the Mavs. And right now, we're on an up, so I'm on an up, and that's about all it is. They're on a 5-game win streak right now. I think Luka, Tim, and Kyrie combined for 70-something last night.
Jesus
which
Christ.
was pretty ridiculous. Luka had another triple-double the other day.
Of course. Just walking triple.
Yeah, he's just casual about those. He's just a fucking beast. Like,
I love his comment where he said he's asked about Kyrie and he said like he's Batman and I'm Robin.
Yeah.
Luka said that. I was like, okay.
I saw a quote tweet that was like, dudes only say this when they know they're Batman.
in my opinion,
Yeah.
it might be a hot take, but he is the MVP. Like, I just
Luka?
don't see how anybody else. I don't see how you can make an argument for anybody. He averages more points per game than any other player in the league. I don't know what else needs to be said. Like,
No, I'm on that train.
he is the most valuable player to a team in the league, especially whenever. I mean, if you break it down to that definition, the Mavericks suck without Luka. Like, if they don't have Luka, they are not the 6th seed right now.
I definitely think he should be in the conversation over dudes like Tatum. Like I see a lot of people say that Tatum should be in the conversation,
God no,
and no.
he's just not on that level
But-
right now.
But there's still people like Jokic that it's hard to give it.
Jokic or Luka right now MVP?
Right now, MVP. I think I would lean more towards Luka, but Jokic is. I think Jokic is a better player than Luka.
Either one of them, like, if you gave it to either of them, I think it'd be fine. My opinion, and it's probably biased, is that right now Luka is the MVP of the league. But,
And I mean, I can't blame you for that.
yeah,
And
but
I don't.
he won't get it, so it is what it is.
It does kind of suck too, because like I feel like the conversation around Luka not being in like heavy MVP talks were like, yeah, but they're like the 8th, 7th seed, like whatever. Like you have to have like a good record too. But now they're like the 6th seed
Yeah.
in the league, and like I think with everything that team has been going through, they could even be. Man, they could even be the 4th seed by the end of the.
And like we were talking about the other day, like that argument that like, oh, but they're such a bad team, and like they're what, and like Reese was saying, like Jokic won MVP when the Nuggets were 6th seed.
That's true.
So like, what are I just don't know what argument you can make anymore, other than there are other really good players in the league. Which,
I
whatever.
don't buy the Shea for MVP.
I don't
thing.
either.
Just
I'm
because
sorry.
I love him and that guy is truly like a hooper for real. But I don't know. I feel like that roster is just like so stacked all around.
It's the Tatum effect where he's a great player, and I think that they definitely bring a lot to their teams. But at the end of the day, they have the two like most stacked rosters.
Yeah.
To help them out, and yeah, it's just you can't show individual accolades as well, and it just kind of it brings down your stock when your team plays just as good when you're not there.
Yeah.
Like look at like Tatum's stats, or like the Celtics stats with and without Tatum. They're like
the same.
Some of them are better. So so like you can't really be making that argument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I do think I'd like if it's like Luka Jokic number 1, number 2, I think Shea would be number 3.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. Yeah.
And I could go like the Luka Jokic thing. If it happened, Jokic was 1 and Luka was 2, I'd be fine with that too.
I think I can't think of anything else other than Jokic and
Luka
right now.
Like if somebody else, if it wasn't them 1, 2 in either order, I would be like, what happened? Then it's like, okay, now we're just bullshitting ourselves. Like those are the top 2 players in the league.
They are.
It's not a question.
I don't think that there can be really any argument for anybody else right now.
Yeah.
And the Nuggets are the 1 seed right now.
How many games left?
Not that many, bro. It's like I think
30?
there's like
No, not even.
Like
What month
8
is
to
it?
16.
It's almost April,
Bro.
Oh my god,
Dude, playoffs are upon us,
Jesus
dog.
Christ.
Playoffs are upon us. We need to start thinking about making playoff predictions, like playoff brackets for our predictions. But
we're getting close to like the 1 year
I can't believe it's
anniversary.
almost I thought it was almost March.
actually though,
because we had playoff predictions last year in the podcast, didn't we?
dude, I think you're right. Because we started in the summer.
Yeah.
Dude, holy shit. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, damn. Well, speaking of 1 year anniversaries, before we get to our playoff predictions for the NBA, we still have to go through our first baby podcast's first NFL offseason. And so we're recording this late enough that most of this stuff is not breaking news.
All the free agents are pretty much signed. I mean, all the big names,
ones. Yeah,
for
We're
sure.
still waiting on a few. I mean, there's ones like Justin Simmons hasn't signed anywhere yet. I think he's still a pretty big name.
For sure, yeah.
And then there's a lot of like ones that are just kind of wavering around. But
Yeah.
for the most part, we see what these lineups are looking like for next year.
And so we all have looked over this brilliant spreadsheet that JOBEY has made for us.
I'm bored at work a lot. I have a lot of time to make stuff.
And we appreciate your contribution.
Of course.
And so it's very brilliantly laid out here. So we will just go division by division. It looks like we're going to start here with the NFC North.
With one of the most interesting teams in this offseason, if not the most interesting team to look at this offseason, the Chicago Bears.
Oh, for sure. I think they've made a lot of good moves. For me, the way that I've organized the teams, I have my free agency winners, I have my good acquisitions, I have my biggest question marks, and then I have my free agency losers.
Okay.
And for me, my Bears, that's crazy.
My Bears.
Bears.
Riding for Justin Fields for so long has made me identify with them a little bit too much.
Please don't be a Steelers fan now.
Oh, no. Well, we'll get to that.
Oh God.
But the Bears are one of my free agency winners. I think they're building out the roster well, and I think they're complementing what they might be able to do in the draft.
I agree that they are a winner. I mean, they've gotten DeAndre Swift, they've got Kevin Byard, they got Keenan Allen for like 4th. Is that what it was? They got Gerald Everett. They got Coleman Shelton. They said, fuck it, we're getting as much as we can, and we're gonna get Caleb Williams with that first pick, and we're gonna see what happens. And it pisses me off, frankly. 'Cause why couldn't you do this with Justin Fields?
No,
Why
right?
couldn't you at least try this?
Yeah, like, I don't know. It does suck. Like, last year I was thinking about, oh, DJ Moore is the thing that moves the needle. And then they signed, like, literally an entire new offense for Caleb Williams. And I'm like, did you even care?
Yeah, I gave each team a grade. I gave the Bears an A
Nice.
because I was like, I didn't give them an A plus. I have a couple A pluses in there, but I gave them an A. And the only reason it wasn't an A plus is they could have gotten a better running back.
I was going to say, was it DeAndre
Could have gotten a better running back, but that's literally it. Everything else, I've good receivers, like amazing receivers.
I mean, DeAndre Swift is better than what they had last year, at least.
Yeah, he's better. But like, if they would have gotten, if they would have won and gotten Derrick Henry, oh my god! Like, are you kidding? That would have been insane. I don't know if they could have afforded that, but kept defense, added to it, and then they're gonna get Caleb Williams. So I don't see
Caleb Williams and the 9th pick, who, I mean, probably not Roma Dunze at this point.
Yeah.
Probably an edge.
Which would be totally
Yeah,
fine.
I mean, which is what they need probably most now. So you can't be mad at that. I mean, someone on the other side of that line to complement Montez Sweat
yeah.
would be huge.
Yeah.
I mean, getting probably...
I think they can get Dallas Turner.
You think so? I think he goes to Atlanta.
You think he does? Yeah. It's definitely gonna be close. It's gonna be one of those two though. Dallas Turner. I mean, they also got Jared Verse and Latu there. So you got your pick for one of those three for sure.
Absolutely. And so is that everything about the Bears, boys?
Yeah.
Shout out to the Jalen Johnson
Oh yes.
bag. I think he got paid, right? Or did they just franchise him?
Oh no, they did end up paying him.
Yeah,
I
okay, that's what I
believe.
thought. Yeah. Oh yeah. He got a crazy good contract. Yeah.
Yeah. So good for him.
So
Good for the Bears.
Shout out Jalen Johnson, the Bears. I mean, they look good. They look promising, and
Yeah.
or they at least look like they can. Especially if they have competent quarterback play, they look like they can make something down there. We'll see how the coaching does, and we'll see how that looks. But for now, at least,
Yeah.
they've made improvements.
Lions.
I was gonna say, how do we feel about these boys down in Detroit?
I gave him an A minus,
I was
and I think that might be a little hot.
yeah.
And they didn't do.
I like their moves.
I was gonna say I feel like they didn't have to do much. They were one of those teams where I looked at them and I was like, this team doesn't have to move around a lot of pieces. They didn't lose a lot of it. I mean, Gardner Johnson is like, he's a decently big one to lose, but it's not the end of the world.
I mean, he was
To be
injured
fair,
for most of
Yeah,
I was gonna
that's
say,
what I was
it's
gonna
really
say.
not the biggest loss.
Yeah,
You know, now that I'm looking at this,
they
I
got
don't
a
even-
fine wide receiver 3,
Yeah, I think
which is all they needed.
underrated wide receiver 3, to be completely frank with you. What I was gonna say is I didn't even have the Lions like on my list anywhere, but I think I would put them in my good
Yeah,
acquisitions.
I think they had a fine. I think they had a good off season. They got what they needed. I think.
And DJ Reader, bro, that guy's a dog. I think that's a huge under the radar signing, and I think they got a really good guy.
Yeah, run stopping, just tank in the
Yeah.
middle, and that's what they need. I mean, it's one of the better signings in all of free agency. Honestly, was DJ Reader. I think very underrated at least.
Or one that I think will also make one of the biggest impacts to
Yeah.
their respective team. And part of that is just because DJ Reader is him, but also I think that Lions team was also already really good against the run last year, so we'll see what happens this year.
Yeah.
But I do like how they got a corner, they got another
And Carlton Davis, he isn't like a needle mover for me.
Sure.
But he's he's a higher floor guy.
Yeah.
Especially than what they had.
for sure,
because
he's at least gonna hold it down.
Yeah, no, he can hold his end of the deal up. He can do what he needs to do. So I think it's definitely overall a win for them, and they're probably still going to address corner in the draft.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, as they should, that they'll get a good one.
If they can get any of the top 5 or 6,
They will.
then they'll have a pretty good offseason in my opinion.
Yeah,
But knowing the Lions, they'll draft some linebacker and then get the 5th best cornerback in the 3rd round still for some reason or something. Pull some dumb shit out like that.
Yeah. I do really like this year's corner class, so
Yeah,
I think
there is a
that
solid corner class.
I think that the Lions will be happy with whoever they take.
Mhm.
How do we feel about these Packers?
The running back change, I it was baffling to me at first because how do you let go of someone who was such a big part of your offense for so long?
Yeah.
Like that's the thing is like all of Packers love Aaron Jones. Like Packers
Yeah.
fans love Aaron Jones.
I
Like
love Aaron Jones.
everyone loves Aaron Jones. He's just a great dude. He's a good running back. He wasn't bad by any stretch. And then you
He's
go
hurt,
out
though.
and get someone who
Yeah.
had a worse
Mediocre year.
running a worse year last year than Aaron Jones.
I gave, and this is honestly just based off of your Excel sheet because I'm sure they lost more dudes and signed like other dudes.
Yeah, no, because
but
whenever I was doing this, I literally went through like all like it was like a list of like everyone name by name.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
just picked out ones that were like names.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
it was a name or like, you know, if it was one that was worth noting, that's the ones that I picked.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was definitely like other pieces to it, but
what I said, the Packers are one of my free agency winners. And this is why. Because to me, they lost what they replaced what they lost for what to me is better players. Love Aaron Jones, and I was one of the first people to ever ride for Aaron Jones
this
because
man's been an Aaron Jones fan since day one.
absolutely, bro. And I'll tell you why. I'm sure I've told this story on the podcast. I'm sure I've told this story on the podcast before, but the year that Mike McCarthy left Green Bay, Packers fans were clamoring for them to run the ball more. And you know who had like 5.5 yards per carry that year? Aaron Jones. And I called it. I knew he was going to go off the next year when he had a coach that would commit to the run. And you know what? I've drafted him every year in fantasy. And sometimes he's disappointed me, but that's only because he's been injured. And I think that's similar to what the Packers front office was looking at. To me, at the very worst, this is just a lateral move, and Josh Jacobs is younger.
He is like 5 years younger. That's why I overall I do think they did win free agency. I think I agree that they're a winner. I mean, if just the Xavier McKinney signing alone, I think that's huge.
Oh,
McKinney
for sure.
is a stud.
Absolutely.
And that was like the Packers' biggest need was safety. They'll probably get another safety in the
Yeah.
draft.
Or maybe a
but-
corner, because the other thing that I wrote down is I don't know what's going to happen with Jair Alexander, because I think he's in a contract
he is in a contract
year.
year, I'm pretty sure, yeah. He does, and he's gonna need to get paid.
Oh,
He's gonna need to get
100%.
Jalen Johnson paid.
At least.
Yeah, so but Xavier McKinney I think was such a good move. He's a stud, and he's only 24, I believe, something like that. He's
Dude, he's super
young.
young, and he's a dog.
And yes, Josh Jacobs also 24. Like you lost with Aaron Jones and Darnell Savage. You lost people who were like core Packers players. So I think
Yeah.
the cultural hit is a little bit more. But if you're talking just strictly numbers and like age, and you're putting all this into perspective, you just signed a 24-year-old running back who is 1 year removed from being rushing leader.
Yeah.
To be with your 24-year-old quarterback.
Yeah, bro.
With like 3 wide receivers who are like 20.
Yeah.
It's like it's a stupid young core.
Yeah.
And it's like Xavier McKinney is a good person to add on the other side of that. And it's you're building out a team that you're like, okay, these dudes are all about to we're gonna build just a crazy young core, and we're all gonna develop these guys, and these guys all have promise at least. And I think it's a good plan. I like where they're going. I think they are lacking a little bit of, you know, veteran leadership on the offensive side at least.
Sure, yeah.
And that's where someone like Aaron Jones, I think, would step in and be like a good locker room guy at the very least. But overall, I can't be mad at them. I think that they are a winner as well.
Cool, yeah. And I think also, like you pointed out, like they are such a young team, so who knows like how much of that culture really is like gonna stick around
Yeah.
because like I think that team is forming its own identity, and I think a huge part of that is going to be Josh Jacobs and Xavier McKinney. To me, I think it's probably going to be well, I like all of these teams in the NFC North, and I think they all have a really decent shot at the division. Like this might be like one of the most competitive divisions
This
in
one's
football.
definitely gonna, this whole division is definitely gonna take a step up from last year. It is crazy seeing how much these teams are gonna change and be like, it's gonna be a bloodbath in the NFC North next year.
Absolutely.
I gave him an A minus.
That's
Pretty much for the reasons you said, though. I thought they got better at both positions.
Mm-hmm.
I get what you're saying,
yeah.
but also Aaron Jones was hurt for a lot of last year, and I
it
was
does
like,
make
and
sense.
I'm a Josh Jacobs fan though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a believer that like he just had a bad year, and it's not gonna happen.
I mean, he was
again.
on the Raiders.
He was on the Raiders. I think he also like just
yeah.
like watching
You
him,
lost
it looked
your-
like he wasn't getting used as much. It looked like he wasn't having fun. Like he looked like
He probably
depressed
wasn't.
on the sidelines half the
I wouldn't
time.
be having fun if I was
Like-
if I was on the Raiders.
Yeah, I just think it wasn't a good situation there. I think he's still Josh Jacobs. I think he's gonna
Yeah,
be
sure.
fine.
I definitely think he'll be better this year than he was.
And I
last
like
year.
him. I just like him better than Aaron Jones in general as a player.
And that Packers
Not as a
O-line,
person,
bro.
maybe, but as a
Josh
player.
Jacobs is going to eat behind that Packers
Yeah.
Yeah,
O-line.
he is.
I think they're going to be a very good team. And the whole thing with like the veteran and like leadership and older guys, I think they proved last year in the playoffs they don't need that. They have enough talent and just young
I guess
studs.
that's true,
They can
yeah.
just go.
I guess these aren't the Aaron Rodgers Packers anymore.
Yeah.
These are the Jordan Love Packers.
Yeah,
and it's
they
time
got
to
enough.
embrace that. I think a cultural change might be due.
Yeah.
Also, though, that with that O-line, David Bakhtiari, he hasn't signed anywhere else, so that's why I didn't add him to it. But he will most likely be gone because he needs it back. And I think they're gonna save like $30 million by cutting him. It's something ridiculous like that. He has a huge cap hit next year.
That's crazy.
I think whenever I was listening to this Day Hot, I think they said he was like the fourth highest non-QB cap hit next year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's incredible.
So yeah, they're gonna cut him.
That makes sense. And I mean, he's
Now-
also old and injury
He
prone.
is.
I want to know what you guys think about the Vikings because you were saying that you think it's one of the most stacked
Competitive.
divisions. Yeah, competitive.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So
competitive.
I want to know which because I'm
Bro, I don't know what to fucking think about the Vikings. I didn't put them on mine, but they might be one of my biggest question marks. And I'm looking at this and I'm seeing more acquisitions than losses. But
man, those losses though.
yeah.
Like I'm looking at the I gave them a C plus. I was like, this was bad.
Sure.
This was bad. I said it. I don't know. I mean, you just the
they have to
Madison.
nail the draft. Is my
If they
thing.
don't
They
trade
have
up,
to.
if they
have
don't
to nail the
trade up
draft.
in the draft, who's gonna play quarterback for them?
Sam Darnold.
Like, they have to trade up in the
They're
draft.
gonna trade
if
up.
if somebody else offers something better, they could, like Titans could come in and like swoop that pick. Like somebody has to trade for Arizona's pick, and it has to be the Vikings, or they're gonna
Nobody
stump
has to
this
trade
year.
for Arizona's picks. I
I
mean,
mean, that would be the
If
one.
I'm sitting there for Arizona, I'm taking MHJ if he falls to me. I'm
Yeah.
taking Marvin Harrison Jr.
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
They need a quarterback.
I think
They
it's
have to.
I think it's 3.
They can't roll with Sam Darnold.
I think it's pick 3 or who's oh, I think it's got to be 3 or 5 cuz the
It's 5.
Giants.
They need 5. They need JJ McCarthy.
Oh
Like
no.
they need somebody.
Yeah, I guess and JJ McCarthy might be the only guy they get.
Yeah, I think it's the only option they have.
I actually talked to a Vikings fan today at work.
Oh no way.
Yeah, a Vikings fan came in and he a lot of times people show me their phone to like show me like information for the thing that they need fixed, and he showed me the phone and they were like he was like getting a bunch of texts and he was like ignore my group chat, they're a bunch of idiots, and I kind of peeked and I was I couldn't what did it say? The group chat name was something stupid about like sex or something, I don't know. But anyway, he mentioned, he was like, yeah, Justin Jefferson just signed a contract, like a $150 million contract.
Oh, actually?
No,
Oh.
I looked it up. Yeah, I maybe they fell for bait or something like that.
That's funny as fuck.
But yeah, we started talking about the Vikings and stuff because he was like, I'm a big Vikings fan, and I was like, oh, I'm a Saints fan, so not really a fan of you. And
Fair
then
enough.
whenever I think of like Vikings, I always think of the most recent Vikings Saints interactions, which ended very poorly for the Saints.
Sure, yeah.
But his first thought was 2009 when when we beat them in the NFC Championship game before winning the Super Bowl, and ruining Brett Favre's legacy and his.
Well, he did that himself with the welfare shit.
And
And the interception.
Yeah, I was thinking about the interception, but yeah, that too. But anyway, yeah, he was talking about, he was like, yeah, we're getting a quarterback. We are getting a quarterback this year. Well, yeah, we need to. So anyway, that was just an interaction. That has nothing to do with what we're actually talking about.
No.
We want to talk about that.
I think it does because like it speaks to like the Vikings fans are expecting a move for a quarterback.
Because you're not running it back with Sam Darnold.
It's just, to me, whenever you have Justin Jefferson,
that's also the thing too.
like it's like you have arguably the best receiver in the league when he's healthy. You can't have Sam Darnold throwing to him, and that's why I get it. They have a lot of accusations, but
Acquisitions.
I almost said accusations.
Not
that would not be good.
No, we haven't gotten to the Browns yet.
Yeah. But losing Kirk Cousins, losing KJ Osborne, the Madison loss isn't too big because you got Aaron Jones, but I'm just like, it doesn't excite me at all because to me they're on the same tier. Like Madison and Aaron Jones to me are like the same running back kind of. Like I'm like, you just kind of got like a good guy.
Oh, that is
but like
Aaron Jones erasure right there.
Yeah, no, it is slander. I get it,
slander.
but to me, it's like I've never been that impressed by Aaron Jones, and I don't think he's going to be that great behind the Vikings O line. And I don't think he's going to shine that bright whenever you have Justin Jefferson on the field. So it doesn't excite me at all. But yeah, if they don't get a quarterback, I mean, I said C plus if they move up in the draft, could go higher. So I'm like, if they draft well, it could be a great offseason.
They got the Texans first. They're making all the moves that you would make to trade up.
They just have to trade one of those first round picks up. That's all that has to happen. And they can have a good offseason. But right now, I'm like not impressed at all. The Sam Darnold just makes no sense to me.
I think
it's just to have someone there.
Yeah,
just to have a backup.
Just to have a backup there.
I guess.
I mean, he didn't get paid much there.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I don't know. Van Ginkel was a good signing. I think Jerry Tillery will be good. Blake Cashman was underrated for the Texans.
It's gonna be hilarious if they aren't able to trade up and get stuck with Sam Darnold. I want it to happen so bad.
The thing is, I think you don't make the move you made with the Texans unless you know
for a fact you're trading up.
Gonna be able to trade
probably. They probably know.
One move I was confused about was, why would you get rid of Danielle Hunter for Jonathan Bernard?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
I think he's a good player. I like
Bernard. I like Jonathan Bernard. I do. But like the Texans and Vikings just kind of trading Danielle Hunter and Jonathan Bernard, it just confused me. I'm like, you had just had great seasons for your team. Why are you just going to a different, why are y'all just trading?
Yeah.
Why are y'all just trading, I don't know. It just, I don't know who's going to have a better season. I would imagine Danielle Hunter has a better season, stat-wise.
Yeah, probably.
So
but
then
also,
the Vikings...
the thing that I can see from the Vikings' perspective is that he kind of did have a little bit of an outlier year. I believe he, re-signed with the Vikings after, being, injured, and he is a little bit older.
It definitely was an outlier year compared to the rest. Yeah, I can see that.
I can see it, and if he stays healthy with the Texans, I think that it'll be a fucking steal for them.
Yeah.
But like you also mentioned, Joby, I also really like Andrew Van Ginkel, Jerry Tillery, Blake Cashman. Bro, Blake Cashman for the Texans was a dog.
Yeah,
so.
the Vikings front seven is pretty nasty.
Yeah, Blake Cashman and Ivan Pace in the linebacker core, man. That's something, man. That's something.
That will be nice to see. So yeah, I mean the defense, the Vikings defense is gonna be good. We'll just see if they can get that quarterback, and if it's a quarterback who's able to elevate their offense more than Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
Or more than JJ McCarthy, bro. I'd rather them take a shot on Bo Nix or something like that, because
I think Michael Penix would be good. I'm still higher on Penix than I am on someone like Bo Nix. I'm just, for some reason, man. I saw a tweet the other day that killed me. I wish I would have sent it to y'all, but it was Bo Nix comparisons. It was my Bo Nix comps, and it was Jalen Hurts if he was less dynamic. And oh man, there were some good ones.
So not the best passer.
It was Gardner Minshew with no flow. stuff like that.
That's
And
so good.
I was dying, man, because that's what I see when I look at Bo Nix and
That's funny.
when I watch him play. I don't know, man.
That's
We'll
fair.
see. We'll see. I might be
That's
wrong.
fair.
I might be wrong, but he just smells like a bust to me.
Yeah, I mean, hard to bust if you're not a first rounder, which I don't think anyone beyond the top 3 guys should be a first rounder, but that's just me.
We'll see.
JJ McCarthy, JJ McCarthy is going
He's
to be
going
a
in the
first
first
round
round.
pick.
Yeah, he is.
At this
Yes.
point I've accepted it. It's not going to be in any of my mock drafts because I hate it, but I think it's probably
What's
gonna
what?
happen.
All right, over under. Are you taking the over or under? Not of what you think should happen, but of quarterbacks taken in the first round. Over under. I'm gonna set the line at. I'm between 4.5 and 5.5. So I'm gonna say 5.5. I'm gonna say 4.5. 4.5 is the line. Over or under you taking for quarterbacks taken in the first round this year.
I think I'm taking the under on that
Really?
because it's the
I
top
was
3
gonna say
guys
over.
and JJ McCarthy, unless the Raiders really love Michael Penix or Bo Nix. I will love it because that means better prospects down the board for my team.
That's
but
true. That's true.
Yeah, I don't know about like unless I don't know, man. The Giants need a quarterback. The Raiders need a quarterback. The Raiders, Broncos, and Vikings are gonna be like fighting for the most mid
For JJ
quarterbacks.
McCarthy.
But plus, okay, so you have those 3 teams plus Caleb Williams getting taken.
Caleb Williams, Andrew.
So that's already 4.
But is it gonna be in the first round though?
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I mean, the Vikings 100%.
The Vikings.
has to be in the first
Vikings
round.
have to.
I know.
Yeah, they gotta reach. They gotta move up. Speaking of my team though, because you said my team earlier.
Oh, true.
We're gonna switch over to the NFC South and start with my New Orleans Saints. Who, what can we do at this point? I'm not mad at the Saints moves. I think we have some good moves and some interesting moves. Am I excited? Maybe. Well, to be determined. The saddest part is gonna be losing 2 Saints legends, 2 New Orleans legends, in Jameis Winston and Michael Thomas. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
He gone but not forgotten. He called Jeff Duncan a hoe on his way out,
That's
Yeah.
funny.
and that's all you can ask for. That's all you can ask for. And Jameis Winston, yeah, it was sad to see him go. I hope he steals the starting job from Deshaun Watson by week 6. And that he leads the Browns to victory, and I hope nothing for the best, but the best for him. But yeah, we had to move on from them. Our cap is hell as always, but we still managed to get a few signings in. Willie Gay was the first one that I saw, and I'm very happy with that one. I think that Willie Gay is a great linebacker. He did great for the Chiefs, and we need linebackers very bad.
Yeah.
We need linebackers in D-line, and that was like the main thing we addressed was linebackers in D-line with Willie Gay and Chase Young. And Chase Young already has a neck injury, so that's like stereotypical Saints. He's probably not gonna play more than half the season, and when he plays he might be all right, but so it's kind of like hard to get excited about that. I don't even want to talk about Nathan Peterman getting signed. I don't know why I added him to this fucking list.
That's so funny.
Cedric Wilson, God, I hope he doesn't have to play much. I don't know.
I don't think he's bad. He wasn't bad.
He's bad.
Yeah, but-
Especially when you lose Michael Thomas, he's bad. I gave the Saints a B+, and I wrote purely because they got Willie Gay and Young, but not much excitement. That's like my exact words.
We can't really make exciting moves.
Yeah.
We just don't have the money to sign
Not much
people.
to be done.
And yeah, it's we're gonna have to like definitely sign a tackle in the first round this year. Like that was another thing is about the Chase Young signing is like with the Chase Young signing, my Latu dreams are out the door. They
Fair
are
enough.
completely gone.
Fair enough.
So I mean, welcome to the New Orleans Saints, Fuaga or J.C. Latham, or
Bro, if you could get Fuaga.
I really want Fuaga. I want Fuaga or Fatanu.
Oh, Fatanu is who I was thinking of.
I really want Fatanu mostly. I mean, obviously, I think Joe Alt's the best tackle, but
Sure.
and I've seen Fashanu falling at a lot of
Dude,
in a lot of
yeah.
mocks.
I
don't
need
know.
to figure out why, because
Yeah, I
I've
pay
heard
much attention
nothing.
to him.
It's to me, it's the way that no one talks about him, bro.
Yeah.
It's the way that everyone is talking about literally every other
Everyone
tackle.
else, yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit, man. Because
Yeah.
like the stuff that I'm hearing about Fatanu, bro.
Fatanu
Dude,
is
he's
a
a dog.
guy. He's a dog. I want Fatanu. Fwaga ever since the combine. Because I watched a lot of the combine. And man, it seemed like everyone was just talking about Fwaga the whole time. It was just nothing but Fwaga. And whenever it was the O-line day, it was just like, all right, here's this next guy. Here's the next guy. Here, Fwaga, this guy's nasty, man. And it was so funny, but he did have a great combine, and I think he climbed up a lot of boards. But anyway, so we are definitely going to draft a tackle in the first round. If there was, if you're a better, I don't care. Just pick any tackle, name like 3 tackles, and then just put like $100 on it. You'll probably make money.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall though, Saints offseason, we did what we could. And if Chase Young's healthy, I think it's a pretty good offseason. If not, we'll see.
This team, I gave an A+.
Oh, the Falcons.
I gave the
really?
Falcons an A+. They got rid of Desmond Ritter, Marcus Mariota, and Arthur Smith. And they got Kirk Cousins, and they got Darnell Mooney, and they got Rondell Moore, and they still have Bijan. Like, I don't know what else. I just when I look at this team now, I'm like, wow, that's a team who really sucked and really kicked out most of their problems and then just upgraded them. I was like, that's amazing.
We'll see how much of an upgrade a 35-year-old quarterback is coming off of
Desmond Ritter was pretty bad.
Desmond Ritter is bad.
I like Captain Kirk.
Kirk Cousins will definitely be an upgrade.
Yeah.
I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that.
I don't.
But how long is he going to be an upgrade?
Well, let me tell you. By no means am I saying the Falcons are contenders. I'm just saying I rated the moves they made as an A+, because I'm just really happy that a bad team kicked out the bad people and then was like, we're going to try to get some better people. That's just what I like. By no means are they going to win the division.
The Steelers just started collecting.
They're not going to win the division. They're not going to go for a Super Bowl. They're not going to do any of that. But I think
they
happy.
win the division 100%.
I think they're my favorite to win the division.
I really think the Saints are going to win the division.
But we say that every year, though.
No, we do.
And we lost
But I
the past like 3 years.
I really think I just think it's going to take the Falcons a year or two to get adjusted. They have new quarterback. Bijan
Kirk Cousins is 35.
Yeah,
I know.
How many years are going to?
I'm saying more for the coach and whatever offense he wants to implement. Mostly not concerning Kirk Cousins, mostly concerning Bijan.
I do like Raheem Morris. I do.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a great.
I think it's just gonna take a year or two. Especially Bijan didn't even really get used last year.
Yeah.
We still don't even know what Bijan can do. Like, I don't know. I see where they're going. I just don't think it's going to be this year. But I like it. I'm a fan of it.
As a football fan, I do think that Kirk Cousins to the Falcons is exciting.
It's
more exciting than
Yeah, Rondell Moore. I like Rondell Moore. I'm a Rondell Moore fan.
That's fair. Rondell Moore is very good.
Rondell Moore for Desmond Ritter, 1-for-1. You can't be mad at that.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. That's crazy. Imagine being Desmond Ritter, bro.
That's insane.
I was traded for a wide receiver. I was not even like a gadget player. I was traded for Darren Sproles, bro. What the hell is that?
crazy.
For a poor man's Darren Sproles.
That's
Bro, I was traded for
picks. No patch, no nothing, bro. Just straight up from take it.
I would be so sick, bro.
Anybody.
What was that
my.
that running back on the Bears a couple years back? He was also like kind of a gadget player, like smaller, always was on like swing routes and
Tariq
stuff.
Cohen?
Like, yes.
Yeah.
Bro, he was traded for Tariq Cohen, dog. That's so
Don't even
crazy.
disrespect Tariq Cohen like that.
No,
I'm
yeah,
taking
you're
Tariq
right.
Cohen over Desmond Ritter and Rondell Moore.
That's valid. That's valid.
Yeah,
And that's I guess that's why the Falcons ended up with Rondale Moore. But
Yeah. The only thing that's limiting me from giving the Falcons an A+ is because like I like the Kirk Cousins move. You know, you want to be aggressive. You didn't like the top prospects, or you didn't think you could get.
I guess they could have gotten like Russell Wilson if they had the money.
But But I mean, that's not. I think I'd take Kirk over Russell.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's kind
bro.
of crazy.
I would.
I would take
at,
Russell.
at this point right
Russell
now.
Wilson didn't tear his ACL.
Yeah,
I
I would
don't
take
care,
Russell. I'll
man.
take Russell Wilson.
I'll take post tear Kirk Cousins over Russell Wilson.
I'm sticking with my
I'm
A plus.
clipping that. I'm clipping
I
that.
clip it. Show me next year whenever the Falcons play the Steelers.
I'm
Hey,
sticking with
fair
my
enough.
A plus right
Yeah.
here.
Well, we won't know because because Justin Fields will be playing by that time. But
Yeah, but at the same time, so like the Kirk Cousins one, yeah, I do like that one. But Darnell Mooney and Rondale Moore do not move the needle at all for me.
They do a little
They
bit for
don't
me.
move the needle at all
They
for
do a
me.
little bit.
But the thing is, I put the Falcons in my good acquisitions list. I didn't quite give them the best tier because
high on the Falcons.
at the end of the
Are you high on
day,
the Falcons or are you high on their acquisition? Because remember, we're rating based on the acquisition.
No, they're acquisitions. Cause I'm like, I see a team, again, like, I just see a lot of these bad teams. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you did a whole lot of nothing. I see a team who tried, and I'm like, thank you for at least addressing issues.
I love that about you, Sean.
Right.
I love the way that you look at the Falcons. To me, though, the Falcons are a scary team, and like, because one, they could be scary, but also because they could just like fall flat on their face, and that's just why I didn't give them the best grade possible. If they fill out their defense through the draft, I would probably grade this team very highly,
They're
like an A plus,
I mean,
even with the Kirk.
They were
Cousins.
just so bad last year.
And there's not a more solid pick in my mind other than Caleb Williams to the Bears. There's not a more solid pick in my mind right now than Dallas Turner to the Falcons.
For sure.
I think that's like a lock.
It is pretty much a lock at this point, I'd say. And then Drake London is really good, and then they filled out the rest of their receiving core, and those guys are going to be nothing but 3 and 4 options behind like Bijan, Kyle Pitts, and Drake London, anyways. So I think it's completely fine.
That's fair.
The Buccaneers, though,
They're going down fast.
yeah,
That Super Bowl squad is no longer there. They kept the bones for as long as they could, but you lost Sean Murphy Bunting, you lost Carlton Davis, you lost Shaq Barrett, you lost Devin White, Ryan Jensen, the star center, retired. But you got Baker on an extension.
I gave him C plus for the extensions.
I'm giving him a C minus.
I
mean, you got to keep Mike Evans. You have to.
They also have a low draft pick.
And yeah, they also have a low draft pick because they made the playoffs. And they got on to the next round.
Yeah, so they're down there.
Yeah, they're like, I think on the first mock I had them getting like Chop Robinson.
who I think would be just fine for them.
it'd
That would be a
still
great pick for
acquisition.
them.
Yeah, I mean they need defensive players now. But I mean, yeah, you signed the Baker extension, you signed the Mike Evans extension. You kind of have to sign both.
Yeah.
So-
Oh yeah, at this point you have to. It doesn't matter. I like Baker Mayfield though, and I liked him on the Bucks last year.
Me too.
We'll see.
I just they lost.
I'm still a believer that that Baker is a victim of the Dave Canales experience, and we'll see. We'll see how he does next year
It's a crazy take.
with fucking Todd Bowles.
I
Hey.
like him.
I think it'll be just fine over there. Their defense is gonna suck though.
They're lucky they're in the NFC South. That's all I'll say.
I didn't put them in a tier just because I do like the extensions a lot, but they lost a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that like the extensions are nice and they needed to be done, but they lost a lot and they don't have a high draft pick. So I'm like, you're not gonna like replace any of those players necessarily. I don't think. I mean, it could turn out, but like all those players I look at and I'm like, none of them are gonna be replaced by a bottom 5 pick. Maybe, but those are good players. Yeah, they didn't just lose nobody, but I don't know.
I mean, they were getting old.
Yeah,
True.
If this is like the start of like a transition era for the Buccaneers, it's probably
yeah.
you had to
that's
get
what
rid of
it
someone.
is.
Know who I did rate though? The Panthers.
Wait, highly?
No.
Oh, I was about
They are a free agency loser for me, dog.
I was gonna say.
They lost all of their good players and replaced them with nobody. They have the highest. They are spending currently the highest amount of money in the league on their O-line with dudes like. Tell me which one of these guys is an offensive lineman, because I don't know.
Robert Hunt and Damian Lewis.
I know. I'm just being silly, but it is.
Hey, Robert Hunt has that one good play. He's that O lineman who had the touchdown where it was like the.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Robert Hunt.
With Miami.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I like Deontay Johnson.
I
Me
think-
too.
And
I
that
think
is the
it's a good-
only thing I like about this. I gave him like a D, and I wrote Deontay Johnson is good. This team still sucks. Like they're so bad. They're not going to be good. They're not going to be good for a long time.
They lost Frankie Louvu. They lost Brian
Frankie Louvu.
Burns. They
Brian
lost
Burns.
Von Bell, bro.
They've been clowning
that's
enough about the way the Brian Burns thing was handled, but we're gonna clown him a little bit more because God, like you could have had 2 first-round picks, and instead now
They
you
got
got
shit.
I think you got a 2nd and a 5th or something
Yeah,
like
it was
that.
bad. It was really
And,
bad.
Yeah.
That organization is just. I mean, what? How long ago was it that they had like the 15-1 season or whatever it was?
It was in 2015.
Yeah,
So almost
it was
10 years ago.
Well, felt like yesterday. Shit, damn. Yeah, that was a long ass time ago. So
what's it.
they're in the dump.
We're
That was
we're
Cam
well
Newton,
past
bro.
the Cam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all over for them.
Yeah, Jesus, man. The Panthers were looking so good. Literally just like
A
1
year
year
ago.
ago.
We were like,
before
wow,
we
this might be-
saw
Yeah.
what was gonna happen.
We were like,
So.
this might be a good team. It wasn't.
They had potential, and I like the Deontay Johnson signing as well.
I
The
do like Deontay
offense
Johnson.
will take, I think, a little step forward. The defense will take a very large step back from what was already not good.
Yeah.
Start any player against the Panthers next year.
Any,
Start
promise
anybody.
you, any player.
And you'll probably score a lot of points. Cowboys,
All right, moving on to the NFC East.
I gave them an F minus, which I don't even know if that's possible.
All in my ass.
Lost Pollard,
All in
Tyrants,
my ass.
and Biotish, and then proceeded to do nothing about it.
Yeah.
He got
I'm not
Eric
even going to talk
Hendricks.
about their acquisition.
Bro, he wasn't even good last
Yeah, I don't
year.
even care about that. Jerry still says all in, but we need to win with less, which I don't even know what that means. It also seems to be Dak's last season.
Yeah, the Dak situation. I do want to talk about that a little.
Yeah, they're not.
They're mutually agreeing
to not extend
to
him.
not extend. So I mean, if
I
you're
don't
the
know.
Cowboys, then like, yeah, you definitely do. You definitely take that. You don't want to sign the dude after having his best season ever, to like a crazy extension.
Yeah.
But if you're Dak, why would you not
Get your
want
bag.
want your bag unless you just don't want to be on the Cowboys
doesn't-
that bad?
And I believe, okay, after this season, whenever they lost, they had a press conference and they were talking about, do you think McCarthy's going to be gone? And Dak's like, get rid of McCarthy, you get rid of me. And I
That's
think-
crazy.
And he said that like in a press conference, like he said, if, like something around the line. That's not word for word.
Good.
Yeah.
Two of the Cowboys' biggest problem.
Yeah, but he said something around the lines of like, if McCarthy goes, I go, whatever. He said something along those lines. And I strongly believe that if they don't make at least third round, at least something magnificent by the end of the season, McCarthy and Dak are both going to be gone, which seems insane because if as somebody pulled up some stats and I can't remember the exact seasons, but it was something like between like the seasons of like 2008, 2014 or whatever season Dak got there, the Cowboys had like an exact even record. And I remember those times. I remember the times of the Cowboys just going 8-8 each season. It was a joke. At the beginning of the season, we're like, we're just going to go 8-8. What does it matter anyways? And then now with Dak, we're like plus like 12 or plus, I don't know. We're positive.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'm like, man,
100%.
it's definitely been up. So I'm like, Cowboys fans just have a tendency to overreact, and it has bled into Jerry Jones, and now we're just blowing up the team. Does this team crumble under pressure? 100%. Can they compete in the playoffs? Absolutely not. But they're not a bad team. It does it make sense? No. I think you just need to bring in like a sports psychologist or something. It doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't make sense to have
Bring
one
back
of the
sports science.
something. It's like you have like the best offense in the league at home, and then they get crushed by the Packers in the first round. Like, it doesn't make sense, and it's not a talent thing. It's like all of a sudden Dak can't throw and CD can't catch. It's like, what is happening? Like, it doesn't make sense. It's something with their mental. They're not bad players. They're not a bad team. It's Cowboys fans overreact. Jerry Jones overreacts, and now they're just blowing up the whole team. I don't get it. I don't know why Derrick Henry's not on this roster. I don't understand anything. I don't get it. Derrick Henry literally had an interview. I don't know if y'all saw this. Derrick Henry had an interview with like a radio station. They were like, so were the Cowboys like on your radar? Like, did you want to go there? He was like, yeah, I have a house in Dallas. They never called me.
I did see that they never called.
That's insane. Arguably the best running back of this whole free agency frenzy wanted on your team. And you lost your running back. And you didn't even pick up the phone. Like, I don't know what goes through Jerry Jones' head.
They still don't have a running back, do they?
No.
That's crazy.
No,
That's crazy.
it is Rico Dowdle and Deuce Vaughn.
Oh, Deuce Vaughn.
Who is that? That's the Saints running back from like the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
It's Rico Dowdle and Deuce Vaughn, and that's all we have right now. I don't know if we're drafting one. I don't. But okay, but who are you gonna draft? Because you have to draft tackles. You don't have a center. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, if you're the Cowboys, you have to draft a tackle. I mean, you got rid of Tyron Smith.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what their thought process is. I can't, like, nobody can comprehend it. They had by far, in my opinion, the worst. And there was a team who has acquired no one. And the Cowboys had a worse offseason than them. That's incredible. That takes special talent. And so maybe by that standards, they're an A+. But by every other standards known to man, they're an F-. That was terrible. It's awful. I don't say how they're going to save it with the draft.
That's fair.
Anyways, the Eagles.
Yep. The Eagles made one of the biggest splashes of the free agency period with, I guess, according to you, the second best running back of the free agency. I
would give him
period.
1 and 2. I think you could put him either way.
No, I was just messing with you because I also completely forgot about Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley to the Eagles.
That's why I said arguably.
It's huge.
Season there.
They also got C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Devin White,
Kenny Pickett.
They also got Kenny Pickett,
Bryce Huff from the Jets to beef up their secondary a little bit.
Yeah,
he was good on the Jets. I think it's a good move. I mean, replace Kevin Byard at least.
Yeah. I gave them an A. The only reason I did give them an A+ is because things are out of their control. Fletcher Cox and Jason Kelsey retiring. That's the only reason I didn't give them an A+.
And those are 2 big losses.
And it's just at the end of the day, you don't replace a player like Jason Kelsey, and it's going to be hard to replace Fletcher Cox. But it's out of their control. But like you said, those players they acquired are ridiculous, and I could very easily see them winning a Super Bowl.
I would put them in my good acquisitions one.
Yeah, I think they had a really good off season. I mean, you got the best running back available, arguably the best like skill position player that got moved, and you already have a dynamic offense.
That offense is ridiculous.
Yeah, the offense is going to be crazy. You will have to patch up the O-line a little bit. I'm sure the Eagles are staring at like Jackson Powers Johnson.
Dude, I would be.
Just calling, making sure nobody else is going to take him. But yeah, I think they can definitely, last year was disappointing for them.
Yeah.
For what they should have achieved. So I definitely think that they could take a step forward next year and kind of figure it out a little more.
They're definitely winning this division.
We'll see what happens with Nick Sirianni.
If they don't win that division, I mean, I would be flabbergasted.
Because the weird magic of the NFC East happened last year. Yeah. So the Eagles won the division last year, so they're definitely not winning.
Did they win last year?
Or no, sorry, the Cowboys won it last year because they choked. And now the Eagles are a better team, I guess, now. So I think they'll... And the Cowboys are a much worse team.
Now it's the Eagles' turn.
No, they're terrible.
I will say, I mean, the Cowboys, hey, this wasn't on paper, but Trayvon Diggs is back.
Oh.
Yeah, that's true. They are going to lose Gilmore, though.
Yeah, they are going to lose Gilmore. But they're going to get Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah, so I mean,
if he can stay healthy, I mean, that's...
The defense is still incredible.
I was going to say, at least your defense is good.
The defense is amazing.
And this draft is...
But we don't have a running back.
With
or left tackles.
Great, you have a great tackle class. You could even wait until the second round to draft a tackle, I'd say.
You probably can, yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know. But I mean, this tackle class is really incredibly deep. I mean, you need running back. not that this is a great running back class, but there are guys. I go tackle first round, get you whoever the best running back is.
Tyler Guy, you are a Cowboy.
Anybody. But we just need a running back. We need a person who can run. That's it. The Giants, I gave a D.
Yeah, I mean, Giants are on a sinking ship, and they lost their bucket. It's they got Brian Burns. I will say the defense will be great. The defense will be very good.
Yeah.
But other than that, like their offense, oh my God, talk about like.
I mean, you have Daniel Jones, and now you're going from Saquon Barkley to Devin Singletary. Like,
it's very comically bad.
It's
like,
so bad.
Like they're going toe to toe with like the worst.
With
like the worst.
It's like them and the
offense in
Panthers.
the league. I'd put the Panthers above them, honestly. Give me Bryce Young and Deontay Johnson over,
Oh yeah,
over
any day. Daniel Jones is
and
bottom 3.
Daniel Jones and whoever their wide receiver one is.
Yeah,
at
I
this point.
literally can't think of Darius Slayton. Is he still on the
Is
Giants?
he still on the Giants? Is Kenny Galladay
Is
still
Darren
there?
Waller retired?
Darren Waller might have retired. I think he
I don't even know. I don't know anymore.
Me neither, man.
They suck. They suck.
I put them in my biggest question marks. The only reason why they're not a loser to me is because they lost out on like one of their best defensive players, but then they got another really great defensive player. So I think at the very least that balances itself out. They just need to like do something in the draft to make me feel good feelings about them.
Has this offseason changed? Because you originally had them taking Malik Neighbors, didn't you?
Yes.
Who has your opinion changed on that?
With
the 6 pick?
I really want to go back into the mock draft lab because I think it's going to look wildly different and I think I'm going to like it a lot more. I think the Giants... Dude, honestly, I don't know what the Giants should do. They should probably trade back and just get more picks, to be honest with you, because they still are paying Daniel Jones an ungodly amount of money, which is any amount of money. And their offense is bad, and you need offensive line, you need weapons, you need a quarterback. So, like, you know, maybe wait for next year for that quarterback or for free agency and just try and like build around Daniel Jones more, I guess. I don't know, man.
That hurts. And I hate the Giants. That hurts.
Yeah.
Commanders.
This one of the more interesting teams for sure.
Yeah.
I gave them a B+.
They're real. Hey, in my opinion, they are building the best team of 2020.
I was gonna say that's what I was like, no way he's about to say. Like, my deal is
Austin Eckler, Bobby Wagner.
Yeah,
come on.
I gave him a B+
Adonis.
because of how aggressive they were. I was like, I can appreciate. Plus Zach Ertz, they picked up Zach Ertz.
Oh,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, no, this is a crazy 2021.
That's what I'm saying.
I do remember seeing that, but I was like, this is Zach Ertz that we're talking about. This is 2024 that we're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm not putting Zach Ertz on the list of notable acquisitions.
I liked Curtis Samuel and I liked Antonio Gibson. Yeah. And I honestly feel like losing Gibson and getting Eckler hurts them.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. I'm an Austin Eckler hater. I think he had a terrible season last season. I don't think he's that guy.
That's because you chose him like number 3 overall, and
I did also do that.
Yeah.
I actually forgot about
Austin Eckler. Drafters are very upset.
I'm very salty about him. But I just don't think he's. I don't know. I don't think he's that guy. I don't think he's the guy that they need. I don't think anybody's the guy that they need. I think they suck.
I don't think Austin Eckler really does anything for the Commanders.
I don't think he's going to be as good as he has been historically. It's definitely giving DeAndre Hopkins in a Titans uniform, but I put the Commanders in my good acquisitions list. I really like all the guys they picked up, and I think they're doing a great job filling out that roster with a good chance to kill the draft. I don't see any world where the Commanders don't pick Drake May. We've been hearing reports about
Jaden Daniels. I've been hearing a lot of Jaden Daniels.
I was gonna say Jaden Daniels.
I don't believe it.
He's the betting favorite now.
Bro, every time I see don't get me wrong, I love Jaden Daniels, but every time I go on Twitter and I see those videos of Jaden Daniels taking like the worst hits a quarterback could ever take, with people editing like in the sonic rings coming out of him.
So hold on. Oh wait, never mind.
I just don't see it, and Drake May is just a better prospect.
Okay. Could you imagine if they they just drafted some random like offensive lineman and they had Marcus Mariota?
Number 2 overall, they just go with Joe Alt.
They have Marcus Mariota, the Terry McLaurin all season. That'd be incredible.
That would be incredible. I
gave him a B plus, and I was like they could easily move up after draft, just because they're gonna get a good quarterback.
And I think they can only get better after the draft.
Yeah,
which is
definitely.
What you're supposed to do. I think
Joby
just
sleepy.
getting Drake May is good. So
Anyways,
West. So now we can move on to the NFC West.
Drew, how do you feel about your Rams offseason so far? Most recently, signing Tre'Davious White
Yes, they did do that.
from the Bills. Probably the most notable acquisition, other than Jimmy G, of course.
Oh yes, the
That's
most
fine, man.
the most
best
handsome
looking
man
man
in
in the NFL.
California.
I
Now he's
saw
in
a
LA.
tweet that said that the Rams just signed Jimmy G so that they could promote him. Because there's like a picture of him in like a Rams t-shirt, just like
Yeah,
looking sexy.
that's good,
Oh.
and a very LA thing
good.
to do. I put the Rams in just my good acquisitions and the only reason they're not a free agency winner for me is because Aaron Donald retired, bro. Like straight up, I would have been pounding the table for this Rams team to be going to the Super Bowl straight up, because like we would have had it all as long as we drafted well drafted great defensive players and maybe a tackle as well, like something on the offensive line. But like losing Aaron Donald is such a huge blow, and I love like the additions that we got in the secondary, like straight up like 3 of these acquisitions were dudes in the secondary, which God we needed.
yeah.
And so you're not I'm not playing with you anymore, Leatu Latu.
Yeah.
I don't want to play with you anymore, Quinyon Mitchell.
Really, you're out on Quinyon Mitchell now?
Well,
you
listen.
need line.
Yeah, that's literally
Yeah.
the thing. After seeing all the moves, I was like, all right, fine, I guess we're going edge in the draft, which, wherever Quinyon Mitchell goes, I will be rooting for him. I will be, because I think that he has the potential to be the best player in this, or the best corner in this draft. So like, and it's just
the
hard
best
not to
player
be
straight up.
No, yeah, that
for
would
some
be-
reason he said corner, and the first thing that popped in my mind, I was like, "My fucking god, what if the Cowboys did some stupid like took a fucking corner?" Sorry, I'm still thinking about the Cowboys.
No, yeah, that's valid.
Gotta
that's
replace
valid.
Stephon Gilmore. Man.
Yeah.
But I like Jimmy G. Like last year, one of the biggest things was losing Matthew Stafford for that stretch and starting fucking Brett ripping ass.
That struck fear in the
Yeah.
hearts of Rams fans.
Dude, I was literally like clamoring to get like any backup quarterback.
Y'all got Carson Wentz, didn't you?
We did, yeah. And then he never played because then Matthew Stafford was healthy.
Right, yeah.
So like, what even the fuck was that all about? And so the thing that was and now we have Jimmy G, who's gonna be just fine.
He can be your backup, sure.
Yeah, in fact I'm happy with that. Jonah Jackson, I believe was a tight end that we got from Seattle.
No.
I'm pretty sure.
Jonah Jackson was a Lions offensive lineman.
I am almost positive one of the biggest signings we had was a tight end from the Seahawks.
Well, it's not Jonah Jackson because he is a offensive guard from the Lions.
Then who the fuck did we
I have no
sign
clue
who's
who
a
you're
tight
thinking
end?
about.
Hold on, let's get to the bottom of this. Cause I was like
Gerald Everett.
No, because he went to the Bears.
Oh wait, Colby Park.
Rams sign.
Is it Colby Parkinson?
And it could be
He seemed very disappointed.
from Seahawks. I just don't know who the fuck that is.
Yeah, it's Colby Parkinson. I think it's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. You didn't put that on the list, so I assumed that
Yeah.
Colby Parkinson was
Yeah.
Jonah Jackson.
Yeah, I didn't
Is
think-
Jonah what
Colby
position
Parkinson.
does Jonah Jackson play?
He's a
Is he a
guard.
guard?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Oh, dude, our interior offensive line is crazy, dog. I've heard reports that we're gonna move Steve Avila to center, which is
Oh,
actually
yeah.
where he played in college. And that's where like some of his best tape came from. So now we have a center. Now we have Kevin Dotson and Jonah Jackson on the interior. That's why I'm like, bro, if we could get like a tackle, Matthew Stafford will have the most time to throw in the league. And so that's exciting. We also need edge like pretty badly. We just have so many needs, and I wish we had like enough capital to like make some splash like trade up in the draft, which would be such a less need thing to do, and I would love to see that. Well, actually it would not be, because he loves to trade back.
No, instead he would be trading those picks to get someone.
Yeah. So we'll see who we fill out the roster with, what they want to do with that our first overall pick. But I do really like the additions of bringing Darius Williams back, who's a little bit older, but he knows the system. He was like really good for us when he was here. Tre'Davious White has been one of my favorite corners in the league for a long time.
He can still ball. If he stays healthy, he can still ball.
And at least holding it down. Like,
Yeah.
I don't see how having Tre'Davious White on the field will be any sort of negative. And Cameron Curl, I've heard nothing but good things about Cameron Curl. Like, he came from the Commanders,
Yeah.
and he's a safety, and literally every Commanders fan is like, yo, what the fuck? Like, we let him go for that little? Like, you mean to say we could have paid him that amount? He's only like 24 or something like that.
Very young.
Insanely young, and is supposed to be a dog. So I am loving our secondary right now. We just need line help like desperately, because all we got is Kobe Turner and Byron Young, and we drafted them last year. So
Yeah.
if we end up with Jerzon Newton or Byron Murphy or like Jared Verse or Leatu Latu, those are my top four guys.
Your dream.
Those are my top four.
You should do what
guys.
I did. I made a list of.
He made a shrine.
I made
To
a,
manifest it.
yeah, I made a dream journal.
Yeah.
No, I made a list of since the Saints had the 14th pick, I made a list of 14 guys that I want. And then I'm just like, all right, these 14 guys,
Go down the list.
I'm like, we're gonna get at least one of them.
Caleb
Yeah.
Williams.
So, yeah, I did
Scratch him off.
I did put Caleb Williams on
Yeah.
there.
I mean, why wouldn't
because I'm
you?
like, he's
Yeah.
gonna, it's like that he's gonna take the spot anyway. So, yeah, so I made my list and I was like, these are my dream 14.
I gave him an A- because I was like, low key, I feel like they addressed a lot of issues. Like you said, they still have more issues, but I feel like they did all they could.
Yeah.
The reason I gave him A- because Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald honestly drops it down to like a B-.
Yeah, it could be a B. I saw it as like they still did good, and like it was out of their control.
It was out of
just-
control. It just
If they would have like let him go somewhere, I'd be like, okay, B, like D,
Oh, sure,
you fail.
yeah.
But
I see what you mean though. I definitely think that the Rams could have been like a fun dark horse, Super Bowl candidate next year. But after Donald announced retirement, I was like, damn, that's pretty much that's a rough blow.
Yeah. So I literally don't know what's gonna happen with the Rams next year. I will be tuning in though and be very excited to see our new players develop and everything. Oh, and Colby Parkinson, the reason why he's cool is because Tyler Higbee got his ACL torn out by Kirby Joseph last year, and or was it Kirby Joseph? Who did we face? No, I think it was in that Lions game. But he's supposed to be like a blocking tight end, like one of the best blocking tight ends in the league. So
okay.
that's dope. Matthew Stafford is gonna have like the best protection in the league. So
And he needs it.
He's old.
he is old,
And he takes hits.
but he can still sling it as he showed last year. So you love to see it.
Next up, the Niners. Nothing really too notable here. They lost some guys. I mean, Kinlaw, Eric Armstead, and Chase Young. Definitely not easy guys to replace. But at the end of the day, they're still going to be the Niners.
I gave him a B because I was like, they didn't really lose anything too crazy, and they got Leonard Floyd. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
They did add Leonard Floyd, which I'm sure Drew loves. But
I don't.
Yeah.
Where did he come from? The Falcons, right?
Bills.
The Bills.
Yeah.
Totally forgot about that. Oh, the Leonard Floyd, Von Miller pairing, which I don't think ever existed on the Rams, but both former Rams. It's so funny here. Talk more about the Niners before I have stuff to say.
oh, I
'cause-
hate the Niners. Fuck the Niners.
I didn't want to talk much about that.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
okay.
all I really
Well, all right, sick. They're one of my free agency losers, which is funny because you guys were both like, yeah, they did good.
I think they did whatever.
I didn't say they did good.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, I didn't hear like they're my lowest tier.
I don't know.
right?
I wouldn't
We
put
didn't
them out
yell at
low.
them.
Yeah.
So he's mad that we didn't yell at them
Yeah.
and say that they were losers.
You know what, Niners? Y'all lost.
Y'all are losers. Fuck you, Niners.
Yeah.
Because to me, what I wrote is that they already had a top-heavy roster and lost a lot of like Javon Kinlaw, Eric Armstead, Chase Young. Like those are like pretty huge guys for their defense.
It is a big hit on the defense, but at the same time, I mean, they just got their defense is it's the
absolutely
Niners.
stacked.
I know you want them to like take a huge step back, but like
I don't. They're not going to. Their
But, like,
defense is
they're still
still
going to be the
stacked.
Niners. It's the same thing.
Their defense is still
Yeah.
stacked. They still have best running back in the entire league. Their offensive line is still ridiculous. Everything is still ridiculous except for their quarterback.
Listen, I think the Niners are going to be surprisingly not as good as they have been in the past. And so
What is there ever a year that you would say anything
Sorry.
else?
I guess you're right, but like I don't know, I smell blood in the water, bro. That's all I'm saying. Because they're so close for their
Look
entire
at the
team.
Seahawks.
They're so close for their entire team to just like collapse. And I think we're starting to see it, bro.
I gave
Next
this.
up, the Seattle Seahawks.
I gave them an F, and I just wrote "lost everything for Sam Howell." Like,
No, literally that's
Yeah.
they're my biggest losers, had to cut a ton of players.
I
and
mean, they
just
lost
acquired
all their
Sam
safeties.
Howell.
It is insane how much their defense just got picked apart.
I mean, it's-
Jamal Adams, Quandre Diggs, Jordan Brooks, Bobby Wagner, Will Disley, and Damian Lewis all just gone.
Sam Howell.
Will Disley is
Brother.
a tight end, but
Yeah, well, and Damian Lewis is a lineman. I was just naming people.
oh, I see.
But their defense with Jamal Adams, Quandre Diggs, Jordan Brooks, Bobby Wagner, who is playing linebacker or safety on that team?
Nobody. They
Also-
literally have no safeties.
Also, why did they bring in Mike McDonald as their coach if they're just gonna lose their entire defense?
Yeah, if they're just gonna
that makes
lose,
no
like,
sense
all,
to me.
Like all the unique players that make their defense good. You kept Devon Witherspoon, which I mean that's like his second year.
Yeah.
And you kept Tariq Woolen, so like that's good. But like God,
But like, what else do you got over there?
you signed Jerome Baker to a 1-year deal. You signed Terrell Dotson, but like they're not working with a whole lot there.
You're looking at Julian Love
You
or
kept
Sean Jenkins.
they kept Leonard Williams. They signed
Hey,
him.
Boye Mafe is good. Let's not forget about him.
Yeah, Boye Mafe. Leonard Williams re-signing was big.
Oh, true.
That
true,
is
true.
big for the D line. But yeah, man, it's just
I still like their offense, but man, their defense sucks.
it's just.
I mean, that was a good defense.
I think their defense can still be.
And not to mention that if Geno Smith gets hurt, we're looking at Sam Howell.
Sam Howell is gonna feed
Oh,
on that
100%,
offensive line.
bro.
That offensive line was, or not on line, the offensive like receiving core. Sam Howell with DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and JSN will feed families.
Yeah, I
That would
believe
be
it.
that'll be amazing.
Just imagine as many underthrows as possible to DK Metcalf, and that's what you're looking at. Oh, the Cardinals.
I was gonna say, how do you
Right.
feel about the Cardinals?
Cardinals, hey, they're gonna get a generational wide receiver.
See, I gave him a C minus, but I was like, this could very easily go up
Mhm.
if they draft Marvin
Well,
Harrison.
I-
Or
I-
even
Man, I
Marvin
think
Harrison
they
or
probably
Roma Dunze, bro.
Yeah, you're either getting Marvin Harrison Jr. or Roma Dunze. You're getting one of those, like, guaranteed. So
And they automatically go to an A- for me if they do that.
yeah.
But as it stands, I'm just like, well, you lost Brown and Moore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
They didn't even make my list. I'd say they're still pretty neutral for me. I mean, I like Sean Murphy Bunting. I like Jonah Williams. I think those are good pickups. Notably leaving out Desmond Ritter. But
I had to put him on the list.
no, I
had
mean,
to put
yeah,
him on
that's
the list.
valid. But I'm not
I-
gonna
just
say.
for fun. But yeah.
they didn't do a lot for me.
The Cardinals
Yes.
and the Cardinals do have 2 first-round picks, so
Yeah, they're gonna fuck it up. Don't worry.
I think so too. I think they'll.
But for now,
Yeah.
And hey, I was big on the Cardinals last year. I'm gonna keep that train
man,
going.
they were bad last year.
I just want to see their draft, and I could easily be incredibly high on them for sure. I think it could be the Rams and the Cardinals battling for the division next year. I'll say it.
That's incredible.
Bro, it's so funny hearing myself talk because I hate the Niners
it's
so
wrong?
much. Well, no, because I hate the Niners so much that like
you can't even like
I don't even see reality,
You-
and I
you
think
can't.
I've just like
Oh
acknowledged
my
it.
like
at
I
this point.
argued earlier that the Falcons would probably win the division over the Saints. That's and like
And this dude's saying the Niners aren't even gonna fight for the
they're
division.
not even like in the debate.
They're not even in the discussion.
Not even in the debate.
I hate the Niners so
Bro
bad.
said the Cardinals have a better chance of winning the division than
Bro
the
saw they
Niners.
lost 3 of like their 13 defensive
They're
stars.
13 All
and
Stars.
said,
Oh.
they're probably gonna be pretty bad.
Bro, Eric Armstead, Javon Kinlaw, and Chase Young are like huge dudes to lose. They're
Their whole
huge
defense
dudes.
is
That's
stacked,
like their whole line. That's like their whole line.
They still got guys, man.
They do, but I mean,
They still
I don't
got
know,
guys.
man.
They still got Javon Hargrave, and they got
He's good. Wait, do they though?
yeah.
I thought he left too. Maybe I'm just, I don't know.
Leonard Floyd, Malik Collins, Javon Hargrave, Nick Bosa, Fred Warner.
Yeah, they still have Nick Bosa
and Fred Warner.
and Fred Warner.
How well did Nick Bosa do last year?
He wasn't in
Well
Defensive
enough.
Player of the Year, which was like a big step down for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Or it wasn't like a big step down. but he was
Travarius
also-
Ward, still on there.
Travarius Ward is still a dog.
That's a stacked defense.
There's
Hufanga.
secondary guy.
Hufunga's on that defense.
Hufanga.
That's true. He
Yeah.
and he was injured
you
last
can't
year.
be mad about
The
Hufanga.
one Niner that I like. Don't mess it up. Don't mess it up.
Yeah, that's a stacked
All right,
defense.
that.
Because I also used to like Dre Greenlaw before he was dirty.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's it for the whole.
All right, that is
NFC.
all of the NFC. Now we can move on to the AFC, starting in the North again.
Dude, with the rate, bro, the AFC North is crazy.
Is this a hot
bro.
take that I have them as an A-?
And that's a hot take to me.
Yeah.
I look at what they lost, and I'm like, but I got Derrick Henry, and then I don't care anymore.
Nah.
How old is Derrick Henry, bro? He's like 30.
The Ravens
Patrick?
to me.
You're gonna feel the loss of Patrick Queen
and
for sure.
Geno Stone.
Geno Stone, I think he was definitely leading in interceptions at one point, but I don't know if he led at the end. But I mean, he's still a dog. And Morgan Moses, great lineman for them. They're gonna feel that loss as well. So they've got some losses in the defense. It's definitely gonna be known.
They are in my biggest question marks tier, and
That's fair.
it's because they lost a lot of talent, but they got Derrick Henry.
They did get Derrick Henry.
Steve-
So we'll see
Yeah.
if this is the year he falls off. That roster is still good, but their offseason banks on the draft probably like one of the most heavily in the league.
I
say.
see- I
Because if
see-
they don't hit on their draft picks, I don't know if they'll even make the playoffs.
Here's
To be honest with
Here's
you.
the deal about me with the Ravens is that I see you lose Gus Edwards, you get Derrick Henry, which is obviously a massive upgrade. So now you have a threat of, is Lamar Jackson going to run or is Derrick Henry going to run? And now you can't hip drop tackle either of them. Who's going to tackle Derrick Henry anymore?
Fair
You can't
enough,
tackle
bro.
him.
Bro, Derrick Henry could have been the greatest running back of all time if he was drafted this year.
Yeah,
Dude,
no, it would.
nobody's going to be able to tackle Derrick Henry. I get losing Patrick Queen. Geno Stone, I think is going to be I think you're underestimating how easy of a replacement that's going to be in this year's draft. It's deep.
But
It's deep down there.
Who are they gonna like? Who are they gonna draft with their first round pick? Because I still think it should probably be wide receiver. And then you have
No,
like
no.
They're going
No.
defense.
You got to go defense at this
Dude.
point.
They're going deep.
You get a
With-
safety.
No, because here's my
Get you a
thing
safety.
with
I think they're
OBJ.
going to lie.
Is OBJ
Okay.
still there?
No.
No, it's
With
Zay
OBJ's
Flowers.
in there, Zay Flowers
Rashad
has
Bateman.
like charges.
They still believe in Rashad Bateman.
Zay
Rashad
Flowers,
Bateman
Rashad
is your
Bateman,
wide receiver one,
Nelson
as far as I'm
Aguilar.
concerned.
and Mark Andrews.
And Mark Andrews is still there.
But here's the deal: is you take all of those, and they're like, yeah, they're like mid receivers. They're okay. Zay Flowers has potential. He has charges. Who knows? But they're all kind of mid. But whenever Lamar Jackson is throwing to them, it doesn't fucking matter if you're mid now. Because guess what? He's either going to give you a dime or he's going to run it 30 yards. We're talking about MVP here. It doesn't fucking matter. Right?
Yeah.
If Lamar Jackson had Tyreek Hill to throw to, would that be fucking insane? Absolutely. But he doesn't need it. He still puts up MVP numbers. And now he also has Derrick Henry.
He's still a one vote away from being a 2-time unanimous
Yeah,
MVP.
I see this as a win for the Ravens. If you're gonna lose all that, but you get Derrick Henry, that's all that they were missing to me. I'm like, their defense was great last year. Yeah, they lost some pieces, but I think they can. I really think they can replace it in the draft. All I saw as a weakness last year was I was like, no team is scared of fucking Gus Edwards. No team's defending Gus Edwards. They're scared of Lamar, but now you're scared of Lamar and Derrick Henry. Like that. To me, that's the biggest upgrade they could have gotten, was you needed a better running back. Because nobody's scared of Gus Edwards running the ball. You're either throwing it or Lamar's going to call an option.
I think you're
one-
disparaging Gus Edwards a little bit here.
Maybe. I just hate
One
him.
thing though,
Yeah.
one
He's
thing,
just not good.
one thing I do want to mention though, Mike McDonald leaving does hurt them all.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
true,
that's
true,
something I
true,
didn't think
true.
about.
Yeah.
But you can't hip drop tackle Derrick Henry.
You're not.
Well, we'll see if that even matters if his knees have already given out on him.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll find out. The Steelers, bro.
Very interesting. Very interesting offseason.
I have the Steelers in my free agency winners.
Wow. I gave him a B.
I
I was about to say,
said
they're in that B tier for me.
Yeah.
I said they solved their quarterback problem one way or another, and they added really good talent. Like getting Patrick Queen is huge, and
Patrick Queen is a good upgrade.
that was one of their biggest needs was linebacker. My thing is just like, well, now you just gotta draft, like, get a wide receiver.
I was about to say,
Yeah,
you
that's
need-
what I was going to say. Is
You
they have
need
no
a
wide receiver. It's great that you have Russell Wilson
And
now,
offensive
maybe Justin
line.
Fields. But
Yeah,
it's like,
they need offensive line as well.
who are they going to throw to?
Van Jefferson and George Pickens.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
Not
that's
not
that's
a good.
pretty poverty right
you
there.
could draft pretty much anybody, and it automatically puts them at 2 and 3 wide receiver. Like they're very bad.
I like George
I
Pickens.
think George Pickens is still good,
He had
but
some good
I
games.
think I don't know if he's wide receiver one.
Maybe it
material.
was a Kenny Pickett problem.
maybe.
Yeah,
But
and they got rid of him after like 2 years, bro. I didn't even know you could do that. He's basically a rookie, bro.
That was crazy, but yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with that QB battle there. Yeah,
It's so funny to me that like
Arthur Smith about to cook up something diabolical.
dude, why would they bro? You know
Oh,
what? Maybe
they
I
got
should knock
Arthur
them
Smith.
down one peg
Yeah,
because
I
they
think it
got
was C.
Arthur Smith as their OC, because that's like a lateral move as far as I'm
from
concerned.
Canada.
Yeah. And the other thing that I was gonna say
It's like a
is
Brock Purdy throw.
getting Arthur Smith, I think might knock them down to like borderline good acquisitions for me, because like I don't know, man, that you're in poverty over there.
The Bengies.
But I do think the Steelers are like, it's not like bad. It's not bad. I don't think they have a bad roster. And they also almost made the playoffs last year.
I mean, yeah, they're in the contention every year. You got Mike Tomlin, you're going to be in the contention
Yeah.
for it.
And I think with Russell Wilson or Justin Fields. Oh, the thing that I was gonna say with I hate how Russell Wilson was told, don't worry, you're the starter. Like we promised. Then why did you bring Justin Fields?
Justin Fields.
Justin
what's
Fields
the
is
point
no
of
longer
that?
considered a starter in this league, and that's insane.
I don't know, man. Like I think
I'll take him.
dude.
I would have loved the Saints to get him.
It still should have been the Falcons for me. That's why also like so confusing. Like you have such a young team, but you want Kirk Cousins. I don't know.
He brings stability is the thing.
Yeah.
It's less of a question mark. Justin Fields, you're on year 4 of a guy who hasn't proven anything.
He's on the Bears though.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He has not proven a single thing. If you're the Falcons, what do you want more than anything?
Yeah.
Stability.
You want a guy who knows what you're gonna get.
But also, like, you're not like getting Kirk Cousins to me is like the final piece of like a Super Bowl team.
No.
I think so. Like, if you
Kirk
fill
Cousins,
out,
saying the sentence Kirk Cousins is the final piece of the Super Bowl team.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Is a crazy.
When I heard it the second time, I was like, yeah, that is.
Yeah. Say it to yourself again. Kirk Cousins is the final piece of a Super Bowl team.
Yeah, that is wild.
I'm saying, like, if you put Kirk Cousins on a team that had a much more filled out roster, because the Falcons still have needs, like, let's not like beat around the bush here, and like if you were to like build up a team with Justin Fields, man, I need to stop, bro.
Like,
I
the
need to
thing is,
stop.
though, it's stability that they need. The Falcons haven't had stability at the quarterback position since Matt Ryan was good.
And that's why I'm going to sign a 35-year-old with an ACL.
He's
still repairing.
and a dope gold chain.
He still gives you a higher floor than Justin Fields does.
And he's sick.
And I dare anyone to argue that. There's no way that you think that Justin Fields' floor is higher than Kirk Cousins' floor.
what we're arguing.
That's what I'm arguing.
Okay, Mr. Moving
I'm
the
just saying.
goalposts,
I'm arguing that a Bengals.
moving
Or
the
a
kickoff
D.
line, which is also something that happened.
That they did move the kickoff. They did change that up.
Shout out for changing the rules for one of the most dangerous things that happens in this sport.
Was it still dangerous? I feel like people didn't get injured in it anymore.
The
haven't
last
seen it.
time that I heard, it was like the thing that the highest number of players got.
But that
injured.
was, I feel like that was back in like 2020. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. It might be entertaining to watch.
I don't really like the hip drop tackle. I think that's just gonna lead to more terrible officiating.
Yeah, that's just gonna be awful officiating.
Anyways, the Bengals.
Bengals.
I gave him a D.
Dude, I think they're like one of my losers.
Yeah, I had him pretty low.
Yeah, they're one of my losers, bro. Oh no, biggest question marks actually.
Dude, Zach Moss is not it. Like,
Dude,
it's just
what
not.
are they doing?
Yeah,
Actually, what are they doing?
Losing
though?
Joe Mixon is pretty rough.
Yeah.
You got
And
Geno
Awuzie.
Stone. Losing Awuzie. I mean, he was injured a lot.
Losing DJ Reader, bro.
DJ Reader.
Every
was-
one of
yeah.
those losses is huge,
Yeah.
and I don't really like their acquisitions enough to make me feel anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike Gesicki is not it.
I think he's fine.
He's not.
He's
Along with
old.
yeah,
He's
I
very
don't like it at all.
Is he?
Mike Gesicki,
How old is Mike Gesicki?
32.
He's 28.
Oh, he's not
28,
as old
okay,
as
he's not- he's just one of those guys that I felt like was old.
I had the impression he was
I
young.
do like
but-
Von Bell.
Von Bell is good, and they got Geno Stone.
I just hate the Zach Moss pickup so much.
It
I
is
just don't-
a downgrade from Mixon.
I don't
mean,
understand.
he's younger at least.
Yeah.
To me, they lost a lot of crucial talent, but they would need to have a good draft to make me feel good
Yeah.
about that roster. The Bengals are also one of those teams where their draft, they need a good draft to make them feel good. That's why I'm like, bro, is this like low key? Bro, is this low key the Bengals or the Steelers division? Because like, what am I looking at here?
It's the Ravens.
Don't take so much face value to just the off season. Think about the teams last.
No, you're right. You're
Think about the
right.
teams.
It's
The
the
Ravens went to the
Ravens.
AFC Championship game. The Joe Burrow was hurt all year. Let's not over extend what these off seasons.
I will once the draft happens. I'm going to throw everything out from last year, and just look at these teams and what I think they're gonna do. Because I don't know, man. The Bengals, like, I don't know, man. Because I saw something on Twitter which is pretty disrespectful, but I saw someone saying something that like, is Joe Burrow like this generation's insert like mid quarterback who like people thought was gonna be good,
Absolutely not.
but
No.
his career like went downhill because of injuries. Like, is he gonna be? No, you know what I think it was. He's gonna be this generation Sam Bradford,
No,
which
God,
is
no.
crazy.
Insane.
Which is crazy.
That's an insane
But I
thing.
was like, but these offseason moves from the Bengals are making me feel like that. Because if you have Joe Burrow on your team, you're in win now
That's what I'm
mode.
saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
That
with
is-
picking
And
up
these
Zach
are not
Moss.
win now mode.
That's what I'm
Win now
saying.
mode moves.
Like, Zach Moss just makes no sense, man. I just can't believe it. I don't know how you're not.
No, wait, Zach Moss is good.
No.
Bro, he was. Did you see him on the Colts last year?
He's not a Super Bowl winning.
He was
running back.
low key.
And I
Bro,
would
you don't
die
need
on
a
that.
Super Bowl
How many-
winning running back. This is not the mid
Super Bowl-
2000s.
Super Bowl winning running backs do you know?
I'm just saying, like,
Do
okay,
you consider Pacheco a Super Bowl winning running back?
okay, but if that, okay, but hold on, they don't have Pat Mahomes.
They have Joe Burrow, who's like number 2 or 3, depending on who you ask. Okay, 3 or 4 or 5.
I was about to say.
I just called him Sam Bradford. I'm like, he's the second best quarterback in the league.
No, Joe Burrow
Right.
is great. I think they need a way better running back threat if they want to win a Super Bowl, which I think they can do with Joe Burrow. I don't think Zach Moss is the answer for the Bengals.
I think they just need a better
I
offensive
think Joe
line.
Mixon was.
Because Joe Mixon, man, Joe Mixon is my Austin Eckler.
I'm a Joe
because-
Mixon believer.
Dude.
Is
You
it
know?
Austin Eckler? You're Austin Eckler?
Yeah,
you believed in him too.
No, I loved Austin Eckler. I just didn't draft him in the year that he had a down year.
Terrible year.
Yeah.
But to be fair, every year is Joe Mixon's Austin Eckler year.
Th-
I mean,
that's what I'm
Man,
saying though.
busted every single year since he came into the league,
I like him.
He had one good year in 2022.
and then it was just every other year. It's just been heartache if you're a Joe Mixon believer.
The Browns.
Browns.
I gave him a
You,
C.
you switch out Joe Flacco for Jameis Winston, and you switch out Donovan Peoples-Jones for Jerry Jeudy.
And I don't
I think it's an upgrade on both ends.
I actually like Donovan Peoples-Jones.
I
I
like
don't
Donovan
know.
Peoples-Jones too, but I think Jerry Jeudy is better.
I also like Jerry Jeudy.
I don't know if I like Jerry Jeudy. What has
Yeah.
he proven?
He's decent.
He's proven
That's
more
what he
than
is.
Donovan Peoples-Jones.
He's pretty
I like
decent.
Donovan Peoples-Jones a lot.
Well, yeah.
Jerry
I
Jeudy
like-
has proven Donovan Peoples-Jones has proven more than Jerry
do they
Jeudy, like
have?
in his because
Marty and- Elijah
DPJ is a wide receiver 3 and has been basically his whole career, but Jerry Jeudy has been like a wide receiver 1 or 2 depending on the year.
Okay, so,
and he's
so
given
can we
you
agree?
nothing.
Can we agree that Judy's an upgrade then?
It's
What do you mean? You
it's-
just said Donovan Peoples-Jones is a 3,
He-
and then
that was
Jerry
the position
Jeudy-
he played. There were always 2 people ahead of him because like their wide receiver
Okay,
room was better.
There's a reason
But
for that.
Jerry Jeudy in like a bigger role proved just as much to me as
I
Donovan Peoples-Jones.
don't know how you can sit here and say that a wide receiver 3 was better than a wide receiver 1.
If Jerry Jeudy was
how are
on
you
the
gonna-
Browns with like he's their wide receiver 3 too, as
No,
far as I'm
he's
concerned.
not.
They have him as 2.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Obviously, he's going to be 2
Elijah
behind
Moore.
behind.
Well, Amari is
Cooper,
1.
but
I don't know, man. I've seen there's Jerry Jeudy has done nothing but uninspire me.
To me, it's
And
like,
Donovan Peoples-Jones has done nothing but impress me.
I
So.
gave him a C because to me, you got rid of mid for mid, and that's just how it falls for me.
better mid at least.
Yeah, it might be better, but they didn't do anything exciting to me. And
I'm not gonna say it's a a game changer, but I definitely think they're upgraded on both ends.
I think it's lateral to me.
they're gonna draft some defensive player, and then it's gonna be all fine probably.
Jerry Jeudy could be an upgrade of Jamin Winston. Jamin
Jameis
Winston.
Winston.
Yep, that's how you say his name.
I would love Jameis Winston to be the starter on that team.
Me too.
Everybody would.
Public service announcement. That video, man.
Oh
Have y'all seen that?
no, I thought you were just saying it like
Oh,
I
that.
thought it was just a joke.
Sorry.
No, literally. Damn, y'all just got on my ass. That's crazy.
Sorry, I was like, damn, we're all mispronouncing things right
Nah,
now.
bro. It's a Jameis Winston video, and
I love Jameis Winston videos.
Yeah, someone said this is the best video, or this video is like the best thing that's come out of Brown's Twitter or like Brown's media. Dog pound.
Dog pound.
There's a lot announcement.
Why did he post that? Why didn't he just restart it?
That's what I'm saying. It's like, bro, you can restart the.
The way it cuts up, dog pound. What's up?
Dog pal.
I like his
Crazy.
enthusiasm.
Oh.
I love Jameis Winston,
Oh, yeah,
man.
he's a treasure.
No one can make me hate Jameis Winston.
Never.
The Dolphins.
Oh yeah, we gotta.
Wait.
oh wait,
we gotta-
no, Jags. Sorry, I skipped the line.
We gotta start going through these.
Bro, the Jaguars,
I gave him an A.
biggest... What?
Loser?
Yeah, dude.
Really?
The Jaguars might have had one of the worst off seasons to me.
Are you serious?
I don't think it's one of the worst. I definitely don't like it though.
Bro.
I like it.
Gabe Davis.
Why did
Okay,
they...
okay, that's where we.
Gabe
That's
Davis, Mac Jones.
where we. That's where we differ. Is that I'm a Gabe Davis fan.
Oh, okay, dog.
I know Calvin. I love Calvin Ridley. Don't get me wrong. Everybody knows Calvin Ridley is.
He was
amazing.
not a good fit for the.
He-
for Jacksonville.
Exactly.
well for them.
Exactly. I love Calvin Ridley. I love Gabe Davis, and I think Gabe Davis is going to work a lot better on this team. Whenever I looked, because I was looking at everybody's depth chart, and I was just like, I don't see where they lost. I'm just like, now I look at the offense, and I'm like, yeah, it looks better. They have Christian Kirk, Gabe Davis, and Zay Jones. They still have Trevor Lawrence throwing to them. They still have Etienne. Evan Ingram at tight end. Like, they also added Eric Armstead, Mitch Morse, Darnell Savage. Like, I don't see where the only thing I'm like, why is Mac Jones? But who gives a fuck? Because he's not going to play.
Yeah, he's usually bad.
So I see it, and I'm like, where did they lose? You know?
Trevor Lawrence. We're
You're not
getting
a Trevor
into,
Lawrence believer?
No. Listen. We're getting into free him territory.
Really?
Yeah, because like as far as I'm concerned, they have a bunch of wide receiver threes.
They
on their
are
team.
they are very determined to build the most mid receiving core they can.
I will. Yeah.
Like-
It is their goal to
Like-
just not get any big players, but just to sign all the mid ones.
Again with Trevor Lawrence. Like you should be like not like win now mode, but like yeah,
But,
like
trying to build up a roster that can win.
like give him something. Like that's what the Calvin Ridley thing was supposed to do like a couple of years ago, and then
And it
now
failed.
you're like, okay, Gabe Davis is the answer, and it's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like where's the wide receiver one? Like draft a guy, please. You have to draft a guy. I think.
I like it, but that's just me. But I'm also just a believer that like Trevor Lawrence one of these years is just gonna have a breakout year no matter who he's throwing to. Like I mean he's already had breakout years, but I'm saying like he's gonna put up MVP numbers. I'm like when I say I'm a believer in Trevor Lawrence, I praise him at night.
I
Like,
thought that's
love
what
that man.
that's what was gonna happen last year.
We
and
think
that's
it's
why,
every year,
But the
but
thing
this
is,
year,
but that's why
But this year's different.
that's why this year I see their moves. I'm like, it doesn't like. I don't feel like the trajectory is like up anymore. I feel like
Yeah.
it's like
kinda
stagnating.
plateaued.
Yeah, and I'm like,
yeah, I could see that.
don't know, man.
Maybe I'm just hopeful. I don't know. I like the defensive players they added, and I was kind of like, I'm not mad at Gabe Davis either. I like the franchise tag and
That's
Josh
fair.
Allen as well.
yeah.
I just think their defense got stronger, and I wasn't mad at Gabe Davis for Calvin Ridley, and so I'm like, yeah, hey, like you did good, I think.
I
But
see it. I'll bump them up to my question marks based on the way you're talking about them, because I don't feel like your points are invalid.
Texans, A+ for me.
Absolutely.
I mean,
that defense
might have won the whole.
That
offseason.
defense got beefed up for sure. I mean, you added Joe Mixon into the running back room, which is great. You added Daniil Hunter. You did lose Jonathan Grenard, but you replaced him with Daniil Hunter.
Yeah.
Who knows? At worst, I think it's lateral. And then you added Nico Autry and Aziz Alshire. I mean, that's nothing but wins. in my
that
opinion.
defense is gonna be deadly, bro.
And they extend Schultz. I love Dalton Schultz.
I don't care about that, but
Can't be mad at a Schultz.
he
I love
did do well for them.
Yeah, the Devin Singletary to Joe Mixon upgrade is actually insane. CJ Stroud is that guy, and now he also has Joe Mixon if he just wants to not throw the ball.
Losing Blake Cashman on the defense will hurt, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
you still got guys on that defense.
I think that line though is gonna hold up their end of the
that
bargain
line
for
is
sure.
gonna be nasty.
And like when you look at the Texans moves, they got CJ Stroud last year, and they're already like, all right, let's make
Yeah,
this team the
which
best it
makes
could possibly be. And but that's why I'm like, what are the
Yeah.
Jaguars doing?
Well, I say that for a
know-
lot of teams.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I
Like-
don't know, man. The Texans are my new favorite team right now. Like my new hottest team.
I think they're going to be very good next year. I think they did very well.
Next up,
Um,
we got the
the
Colts.
I don't even think they made my list.
I gave
man.
them a D-.
Yeah, they-
I said
oh,
I
shit.
said not an F because they tagged Pittman, but other than that,
Pittman
nothing.
getting tagged, I mean, that does help. But
That's
yeah.
the only reason I didn't give them.
But yeah,
an F.
they've done very little.
I mean, this doesn't.
They missed out on L'Jarius Sneed, and so they're probably going to draft a cornerback. That's probably where Quinton Mitchell's going to go.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
or like Terry and Arnold.
Yeah,
Go there.
probably.
Nate Wiggins.
Yeah, or him too.
Quinton-
Those three guys are all like so close for me. Like,
Yeah.
I love
I
the
think-
cornerback class so much, and they're all like within margins for me.
I think Quinion or Terry and Arnold are more the Colts style than Nate Wiggins is.
Sure.
I don't think Nate Wiggins is like what the Colts look for. But I mean, yeah, you still got a baller from one of those guys. But yeah, as far as offseason goes, pass.
Yeah, I think it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Next.
The Titans, bro.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
I don't even know what to think. To be
I gave him an
honest.
A minus.
Honestly, I mean,
Is that wrong?
You addressed cornerback, which was one of their weakest parts. You got JOBEY Awuzie and L'Jarius Sneed, like the two best cornerbacks that were available on the free agent market. Arguably, I can't think of any others right now. You got Calvin Ridley.
The only big loss was obviously
Derrick
Derrick Henry to Tony Pollard.
I mean, Danico Autry and Aziz Al-Shaair
That will hurt. That
are
will
pretty
hurt
huge,
for sure.
I have to say.
But you upgraded the offense. You got Calvin Ridley. You got Lloyd Cushenberry to beef up the O-line. And you got a running back in Tony Pollard. Which, Derrick Henry to Tony Pollard,
That's gonna be a big difference.
definitely a downgrade. But you don't have like the worst running back room in the league.
No, you're not the Cowboys.
You got you got Tony Pollard and you got Tajay Spears.
Yeah.
To
Don't know
me,
about all that. Man.
to me, this was built as all right, this is a little test run to see if Will Levis is like
Yeah.
a guy that we can build around.
I think so.
This is like their little test. They're not going like all in and they're being like spending like all their money and signing everyone and doing all this, but they're like, all right, we're gonna give you some help. We're gonna
Yeah.
upgrade these parts. We're gonna give you a better offense. We're gonna lose some defensive pieces. That's gonna hurt, but we're gonna upgrade the offense. And we're gonna give you some more to work with. Go out there and prove that you can be our franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
And I think that it's worth the risk. It's worth the risk. At the very least, you get your answer and you can know right away whether Will Levis is going to be that guy. Because he's shown enough flashes, and he showed enough flashes last year to where he's worth that risk 100%.
Yeah. The Dolphins. Now the Dolphins.
This one looks better on paper, but I think there's also a lot of people that they lost that aren't showing up as much yet because they haven't went through. But they had arguably the biggest free agency loss with Christian Wilkins.
Yeah. And Andrew Van Ginkel and Robert Hunt are also pretty big for them.
I gave him a B.
They got a few people. I mean, they got Jordan Brooks, they got Shaq Barrett, they got some names. Jordan Poyer's not like a scrub.
Kendall Fuller.
The
is
one I
still
actually
good.
really don't like is losing Cedric Wilson. I'm like, hold on. So I'm like, if Tyreek or Jalen Waddle get hurt at all,
It does get pretty rough out.
then they have like nothing.
Yeah.
You definitely got to draft a guy.
You got Chase Claypool.
think so.
Actually, I think they lost Chase Claypool.
No, they don't have Chase Claypool. Their
Chase
wide receiver
Claypool
3
is-
right now is Braxton Berrios.
Oh God.
So,
Hey,
like-
hey, he did good for them last year, though. He
But
did do
as a
good for
wide
them.
receiver 2, if one of them gets hurt, and then now you don't have Cedric Wilson, I don't know. To me, it was just like a small thing. Then I'm like, I think it's not a big deal at all. really.
Losing Christian Wilkins is definitely gonna hurt though.
And
Yeah.
it's a what if. Yeah, Christian Wilkins is a big deal.
That's the biggest one. We'll see. I don't know. The Dolphins confuse me.
I
But if you want to know
Man.
a team that definitely lost this free agency,
gave him a D- just because I like Curtis Samuel.
That's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
I was like,
from.
yeah, he's cool.
but the Buffalo Bills, oh my God.
They got torn apart.
Gabe Davis, Jordan Poyer, Mitch Morse, Poona Ford, Leonard Floyd, and Tre'Davious White, just to name the ones that have signed with other teams.
Yeah. Yeah, this is bad. This is really bad.
It's
However,
rough.
Curtis Samuel over Gabe Davis, I love. That's amazing. Really great work there.
You just love both of them.
Yeah, but Curtis Samuel is better than Gabe Davis.
Yes.
And I love that for them. Everything else sucks. But that upgrade, good job. Bill's channel manager, whoever you are.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not looking good for the Bills next year.
Yeah, talk about like people shitted on the Rams for going all in and then having like a low, like a dip in their I mean, we won only 4 games in 2022.
Yeah.
But this screams to me like poverty, bro.
Yeah,
like
at least y'all got y'all's ring out of it.
yeah, and at least we got our fucking ring, and then we made it to the playoffs the year right after that,
Yeah.
after having a killer draft, and we're probably gonna make the playoffs again at the very least.
Speaking of who won,
Ooh, the Jets.
The Jets.
they
They're one of my
they-
free agency winners.
they fucked this up.
Yeah.
They did win. If Tyron Smith can stay healthy, they might have the best.
Oh
One
my
of the best. free
Yeah,
agency classes.
absolutely.
I mean, Javon Kinlaw's a great ad.
Yep.
Mike Williams I mean, you got a receiver at least.
That is he is a
Hey,
receiver.
it's better than fucking Alan Lazard and
Yeah.
and Randall Cobb, fucking 40-year-old Randall Cobb.
Hey,
Still out there.
The
I think
best
Morgan
abilities, availability is all I'll say.
And the additions of Tyron Smith and Morgan Moses means that you don't have to draft a tackle if you don't want to.
Yeah.
This is the most Brock Bowers coded team.
They're
I think
they're
I've
just
ever seen.
they're trying to protect that ACL, man.
They are trying to protect it. They still might draft. I still love the Fuaga to Jets pick so much.
Yeah.
For some reason, that just makes so much sense to me. And it
because
just,
they need tackle.
yeah, I mean, it just specifically though Fuaga for some reason just it seared into my brain. But
Which one is the one that can like play every position on the line?
Fatano
Okay, they should draft him.
and JC Latham could as well.
Yeah.
JC Latham could definitely move around a little bit.
This Jets team is only.
I have
better
them as
now,
one of my
so.
winners.
They absolutely.
Fuaga could probably move around, but he didn't do it as much.
Now this next team I have is a loser.
I mean, you're already one of the worst teams in the league.
Yeah.
And
So
then you get rid of your starting quarterback and you get Jacoby Brissett, Antonio Gibson, and KJ Osborne. Jacoby Brissett, arguably an upgrade.
We're talking about
100%.
Yeah. The New England Patriots.
The only positive from this is that they will probably draft a quarterback. Who knows if he'll be good? If your only option is Jacoby Brissett, that's insane. But I would love it so much if this whatever quarterback they draft just absolutely flops. That would be fucking hilarious.
unless it's Jaden Daniels, because I do want him.
If they go
Jaden
Mac
Daniels
Jones to
is-
Jaden Daniels and then Jaden Daniels turns out to be a bust, that would be probably the best day of my life. But yeah, I
That'd
want
be
them
so
to
sad.
only fail.
But Jaden Daniels seems like the least Patriots quarterback of all time.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
But I mean, there's no more Bill Belichick, so who knows? Maybe Jared Mayo
Yeah.
is trying to just completely change that franchise around. And then moving on to our last division
The
of
Chiefs.
the night, the
Chiefs.
AFC West. We're starting with the Chiefs.
All those Chiefs.
You won the Super Bowl and you re-signed Chris Jones,
I gave him a B.
and you got Marquise Brown. I think you did everything you need to.
Yeah, they did lose. I don't like the losses.
Losing
I
Willie
hate the
Gay and
losses.
L'Jarius Sneed.
I mean, they suck, but it had to happen.
And at the end of the day,
Yeah.
I don't really care because I just won the Super Bowl. If I'm
Yeah.
them. And I like Marquise Brown.
Yeah, Marquise Brown, I think, is a great addition, and Chris Jones.
Probably
It's
the biggest
Chris Jones.
re-sign of the
Yeah.
the whole
Yeah, you
offseason.
had to do it. You had to do it.
I think that I don't know. I feel like the L'Jarius Sneed loss is probably going to be like bigger than a lot of people
Yeah,
think.
I think
Because him and Trent McDuffie, like, because now it's, if they don't draft a guy, I mean, they probably will, but like,
I was about to
I'm
say,
thinking of like a
I
top
think, I
guy.
think they're gonna be fine. They're in position to draft a guy, and Trent McDuffie is really turning into like a solid player.
I think so too, but as a cornerback one taking on all the hardest matchups, not that I don't believe it, but I just want to see it first.
Yeah.
And I would just be a little bit tentative. And if they go wide receiver in the first round, like I thought they should before free agency, I would start to worry a little bit about that Chiefs secondary. And If they took cornerback, we'd still be in the. Well, I guess they won the Super Bowl with the terrible wide receiving
I was
core.
about to
So
say, they won the Super Bowl.
and I
last
guess they
year.
have Marquise Brown, so they should definitely draft corner in the first round. So we'll see what happens.
Next up, big L for the Denver
This
Broncos
is the only other team I gave an F minus.
as they are rebuilding, I guess.
Bro, all I wrote in mine, obviously they're one of my biggest losers, but I just wrote ha ha ha, ha next to it. 'Cause
It's pretty bad.
I'm gonna read a list of all the actual signings that happened. Tell me which one of these moves the needle the most for you.
the Broncos signed.
These are people the Broncos have signed. Michael Burton, the fullback. Lil Jordan Humphrey. Shout out Lil Jordan Humphrey.
Oh,
There's like 5.
he was already on that team.
Yeah,
though.
yeah, he re-signed. Yeah, there's like 5 former Saints on this list. Josh Reynolds. That's pretty recent.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Adam Troutman. Matt Pert, the offensive tackle. Malcolm Roach, the D lineman. Cody Barton.
Oh,
Justin Strad. I don't even know.
oh wait, hold on. Who's Cody Barton? Because I got him confused with Kobe Parkinson, the kicker.
Cody Barton is a linebacker. He is from the where is he from? He was on the. Why am I checking right now? The Commanders last year. Originally was on the Seahawks for like 5 years, and then he went to the Commanders. He was on the Commanders last year.
None of those move me
Yeah,
I
because their
didn't even know,
quarterback is
like-
Jarrett Stidham. So unless they trade up
it's just
in the draft and get a quarterback, I'm not moved at all.
they probably are gonna draft a quarterback, but yeah, no, it's a rough year for the Broncos.
Yeah, that sucks ass. That's really bad.
Ooh, I definitely want to talk about this next team though.
The Chargers.
Chargers.
You're good.
We got them just destroying their entire skill position group.
I gave him a D plus.
Austin Eckler, Gerald Everett, Mike Williams, and Keenan Allen just gone, just like that, just like that. And you replace it with Gus Edwards, Will Dissly, and Hayden Hurst. Insane.
That's pretty bad.
Insane.
No way they draft Brock Bowers, right? Because that's what a lot of people were saying. People were like,
No way.
Jim Harbaugh.
I think they're trading. I've seen a lot of people who have
Really?
been like, I think they're going to trade out. I've seen a lot of people, though, who have been like, or they're going to get Roma Dunze if they can. But I've seen a lot of people who are like, yeah, Jim Harbaugh is playing chess when everyone else is playing checkers. You know? He's hyping up JJ McCarthy to where everyone's going to, like, someone's going to trade up and panic and trade up to the 4th pick and take him there. And then that way MHJ will fall directly to them.
Oh
That way
my
they can get
god, they
Reynolds.
are delusional.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that would be crazy.
There's no way.
How are they gonna feel whenever they draft? Oh no, never mind.
They're probably gonna get Roma Dunze.
Yeah.
Or Malik Neighbors,
Yeah,
which I think would be fine.
at the very least you get you're gonna get either Marvin Harrison Jr., Roma Dunze, or Malik Neighbors. So you got it. You get one of those. at least.
I don't think they should trade. I mean, I get
No.
that they need a lot,
Yeah.
but I don't know, man. I think those top 3 wide receivers are too good to pass up on.
Yeah. When the top 3 is that good, you just gotta take one.
Especially when you got. Do anyone have the Chargers depth chart on deck? Because I would love to get a look at that wide receiver room. Because do I even know a single player?
Josh Palmer.
Okay,
Josh Palmer's their wide receiver 1.
that's crazy.
Quentin Johnson.
Johnston.
No,
Darius
Stop.
Davis. I'm not even sure who that is. Darius Davis?
I think I've heard the name.
I have not.
I have not.
I know Josh Palmer and Quentin
And
Johnson.
Simi
obviously.
Fehoko, and that's it.
Yeah, it's an insane wide receiver.
They gotta draft like 4 wide receivers, man.
Yeah, it's not looking good over there. At least they have Joey Bosa.
He has not been playing well.
Do
either.
they have him though?
I don't even know.
Only like half the time, basically.
Speaking of someone else that's not doing well,
The Raiders.
Raiders. I mean, they probably had the biggest free agent signing of the offseason with Christian Wilkins.
Yes.
I feel like I said that about someone else earlier, but maybe it was L'Jarius Sneed to the Colts. But the Christian Wilkins is definitely
Or to the Titans.
to the Titans. Yeah, Christian Wilkins, the biggest addition. I mean, it makes you got a sick D line now,
Yeah, that's true.
but like, other than that, what else you doing?
Yeah, I don't like the Josh Jacobs to Alexander Madison at all.
Yeah, big downgrade for sure.
Yeah, but also to the team itself, it's not the biggest loss, I'd say, at least based on last year's production.
At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because it's the Raiders.
Yeah.
They're gonna
True.
suck.
I saw a tweet that said the Josh Jacobs to Alexander Madison downgrade is the biggest downgrade I've seen since Dalvin Cook to Alexander Madison.
Oh man,
Yeah, it's
that's
pretty
so-
bad.
It's so good.
It's
pretty
so
bad.
funny because Alexander Madison was like the dude that you picked up on the waiver wire
When
in
you're-
fantasy
yeah.
because you knew he would go off. And then the one time that he gets the backfield all to himself, he just shits all over the
He
bed.
does.
I don't
He
understand.
indeed does not go up.
I literally don't understand. It's funny because the Raiders is the team that made me think of the good acquisitions tier because I felt like Christian Wilkins in and of itself is
Yeah.
like a good enough thing, but they're not there just because they are the Raiders. And but that dude, I will be watching that Raiders D line because Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins, man.
That's gonna be insane.
That will be a fun one to
That
watch.
talking about feeding families, bro. They're gonna be bringing sacks home to theirs, so I'm excited to see that.
I wrote down my top teams and my worst teams.
Oh yeah, do you want to?
Yeah,
Go for it.
I had my top because I don't know if these are controversial. I had my top teams in no particular order: the Falcons, Eagles, Texans, Jets, and Bears. I just did like top 5.
I can agree with that.
My bottom 5 in no particular order: Cowboys, Seahawks, Broncos, Colts, Patriots.
Colts.
I didn't like the Colts at all.
I mean, what did they do?
Yeah, what did the Colts do?
That was good. Yeah, I mean.
But what did they do that made you put them in the bottom 5?
Because the only thing they did was franchise tag Pittman.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
And I
I
was
mean-
like, everything else is just kind of, they just lost Zach Moss and did nothing.
But they have Anthony Richardson and
This is
Pittman.
about. This is
But
about
just
free
like what
agency.
they did.
Yeah, this is about free agency. This isn't about.
Not like the team they are. I don't think they're a terrible
If we
team.
just start talking about like best teams, you can't just be throwing.
Well, no.
Anthony
I just
Richardson
mean
in there.
like, I don't know, cause like to me, it's like free agency is supposed to like address your needs, and I feel like the Colts have like enough draft stock that they can like fill out their roster a little bit more, and they don't need to rely on like big free agency signings. L'Jarius Sneed would have been real nice for them, but
They could. I mean, if they draft well, then they could go up on my thing. But for now, it's like
like a move
dude,
like
nothing.
what like the Giants, for example. Like the Giants should be
that's true. But
I mean, they got Brian Burns. at
yeah, they got
least.
Brian Burns, and they at least replaced what they lost.
Brian Burns is like probably like top 5 on like one of the biggest names that moved during free agency.
to me this
At
is
least he did something.
just like I feel like they're treading water, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's nothing to me that like excites me. And also the I guess you like Gabe Davis, but I don't know. Jaguars.
Did I have the Jaguars as a top?
I like the acquisition of Eric Armstead and Mitch Morse.
Yeah,
Oh no, I didn't have the Jags in there at all.
I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot more like concerning things to me than the Colts just like
Doing
staying
nothing.
where they were at,
think I
which is
put them-
like playing for a playoff spot.
I think
in
I
week
put them
18.
in there because it was boring to me.
And
Like,
you
I
know
was
what? That's
like,
completely
boring.
fair. That's completely fair. I don't disagree with that at all.
I do need to go.
No, yeah, that's totally fine because that's everything. We covered the entire free agency in one episode. How do you guys feel about all that?
Cowboys are going nowhere.
Exhausted.
Rams are up-ish. I miss Aaron Donald.
We're so down.
Troy Fatanu, you are a New Orleans Saint. Nah, I feel like we're gonna draft Tyler Guyton. I just fucking know it.
Oh man, if that happens,
Or
I'd be
we're
so
gonna-
upset for you.
I wouldn't be surprised if we got JC Latham if we picked him instead. Which I wouldn't.
That wouldn't be
I wouldn't.
bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that. But yeah, I really want Fatanu. But I just know we're not gonna get him.
Well,
Anyways,
Well,
or we're gonna get a Marius Mims since he's a dominant player, but just injury prone as fuck.
I wouldn't hate that for you guys. Mary Smith is good.
bro. I wanted someone who's gonna start, man.
That's-
I don't
Yeah.
I don't care if Marius Mims ends up being the next fucking Joe Thomas. I want a player who's gonna start
I would
every
care.
game. I want someone who's gonna start every game.
And you know what? That's fair. Well, my I don't know what I was about to call our audience, but it was not going to be good.
It was gonna be real dirty.
It was going to be Sporty, my little Sporty. I don't know.
Sports, my little sports.
Aw. I kind of liked it.
My little sports.
I have a lot
Hey,
of...
oh, hey, I see. Hey, that's a good. I like that. I like that. Hey, oh. Keep that in. No, I'm kidding. Well, Jesus, man.
There we go.
Well, our little sports
Our
gives you a noogie, nuzzles you. Sorry. No. No.
Wow.
Man, I need to.
Send this man to bed, bro.
Yeah.
It's bedtime time.
Stay sexy, sports.
Stay sexy,
That's
my little
crazy. Little
sports.
sporties.
Wow. All right.